Alrighty, what is up, gamers? We're a little behind in schedule, so let's make this short and sweet. There's a little intro. Okay, second week, or I guess you could consider it first week. I guess it's like around 10 days since the release of 2.0. And we are gonna play some show matches tonight. The format is your usual, or the good old, whatchamacallit. I guess good old, as far as Bounty Hunters is considered, FT7. And we're gonna have some pretty spicy matches tonight. A lot of Kisk family matches tonight. I think every slot except the random select match in the slot number 3 is gonna have a Kisk family member. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't watched Dual Rulers. All right, but let's. How are we gonna do this? Since we have only a couple of minutes left to go, let's go straight into talking about what is immediately gonna happen, because you might see, if you're a knower, if you know something about the European scene, the number 1 slot match seems fairly enticing. There's some spicy stuff happening there. We've got, of course, none other than Revill, one of the top Sin players of the region, facing off against Hoplan. And, you know, come a little closer, chat. Let me level with you for a moment. So I'm a Sin player myself, and I've been recently, quotations, I guess for the past 3 years, sort of struggling with the Nagoriyuki matchup. It sort of made me question if it's really that grim, or if it's just me. And here's the deal. We've got Revill, who is basically the number 2 top dog Sin in the European region. At least that's my headcanon at the moment going into this. Don't ping me if you have better Sin candidates. I'm not gonna listen for the sake of the storyline. But we're talking about it like a 1.8k plus Sin player here. If Revill cannot do it, then surely my worries, my woes, and my despair is justified, and I'm not crazy, right? Right? Fucking right? Can I get an amen here? But on the other hand, if Revill wins, then let me tell you what. If Revill wins, I'm gonna stop bitching and moaning about the Nago matchup for the foreseeable future, and just accept that I just gotta work on myself as a player, and that's all there is to it. Those sound like pretty juicy stakes to me, right? Not like this match wasn't like already such a bombshell of a match without all of the mental gymnastics. Yeah, honestly, can't wait to watch this. Let me actually send before it's too late. Let me send Hoplan and Revill in message that we are good to go. Yeah, it's this is pretty cool. I've got a lot of emotional investment here, like outside of what I just told you, because of course this is the character I play. It is a character that I respect quite a bit myself, Revill. And Hoplan is a player I've played against a lot, sparred with a lot, and Hoplan is a player who knows the Sin matchup quite well, I would say. Plays Sin himself as well. I would say Sin is probably Hoplan's number 1 pocket character, other than the main, at the moment at least, out of the, you know, if you're just judging by how strong their characters are. But you still have to look at the numbers, and you know, Revill has been a very influential, strong sort of force in the European tournament scene. This Italian Sin has the capabilities to win, or at least make it to top 8 on most high-profile tournaments if they play. And then there is Hoplan, the Finnish, one of the most fun characters, or maybe we should say players to root for, especially if you know, are in any shape or form familiar with Finnish FGC. I think we didn't have any Sin matches last week. We didn't have any Nagos last week either. The significance, of course, is that the 2.0 version, which is the back to basics version of Guilty Gear Strive, extremely different kind of game than what we've been used to since like Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. It's kind of like a resetting of everything. This goes almost like back to Season 1 in sort of way, or like Season 2, depending on what your viewpoint is. So Sin has, on the surface, like, didn't receive that many changes, honestly, as far as, you know, the changelog is considered. But you do have the new reworked Still Growing, the food, which sort of kickstarts Sin's stamina recovery. It makes a big difference. And then, of course, removal of certain tools, such as like any combo ability from Sin's Hylos, Hoof Elk, not really giving like any rewards unless you spend meter, as well as removal of Sin's, you know, big rewards from far poking. So like far slash, beak driver as a raw poke. You don't really get that much out of those hits anymore, unless you're willing to spend resources, or rather spend stamina, or not stamina, spend meter, tension, or get some sort of a counter hit. So now, because of those changes, you're kind of sort of guided to play a little bit slower, give away a little bit of momentum here and there. Maybe like if you score a beak driver conversion mid-screen, you're just gonna let it go beak 1, beak 2, then eat, let the opponent get up, go back to neutral, and play a little bit like that. And then Nago with the new move, the Yukimo, as they call it, is quite a fundamentally sort of morphing ability for this character. Changes completely how the blood management kind of works. Of course, bite has been changed quite a bit as well. No longer has the drastic effect. It now instead gives you like a is it like around half of your blood meter back on one bite, and that's it. But his other methods of gaining blood back have been greatly enhanced, like especially the heavy buttons give you much more blood back, and now of course using Yukimo does put you in that state where you're not spending any, or like your blood math isn't mathing for a while. But let's dive into it. First match of the week, and what a match it is. Starting with the 2 stamina burner here. Hoplan with the throw. Although it's not too bad of a deal taking a throw from those 2 stamina burners, especially if you're not close to the corner. You have an opportunity to go for TB here. Of course, nails the clean hit for maximum amount of damage. And now dry on all of those resources. Finds a close slash counter hit though, and because we're so close to the corner, that is gonna route into a nice lengthy little combo without spending any stamina. As his Hoplan had a little bit of blood on the gauge as well, the defensive modifier was quite a bit down. So very quick burst here, was able to drain 2 blood bars from Hoplan, and look at that range! The Yukimo reaches so far away. It honestly, especially in this matchup, it just completely changes the dynamic how this is played. Oh, got the backdash, but a little bit too close, or rather a little bit too far. Still catches a hit into TP, clean hit. Hoplan has a lot of resources though, and a decent amount of blood to burn as well. Revill though, disengages back to neutral. This is kind of like the way you... Oh, big heavy slices. Kind of like the way you could achieve your win condition as Sin in the previous patch when Nago is high blood. Oh, misses the pickup though, gets a far slash instead of close slash. Successful jab confirmed by Revill, immediately countered by Hoplan. We're still in the Yukimo. Has been landing those far slashes, so this blood match should be going down as soon as the mode ends. Yeah, you can see blood reducing here. Revill finds a way in. We have decent amount of stamina, so even if you're lacking tension here, you still have really good options to pressure here. Oh, got them with the -1 into 5k, which has a little bit of it's kind of like an infamous 5k in the sense that, oh, nice back here on the wires here as well. That should be a kill, right? We can run into 0 stamina combo DP at the end, and Revill cleans the first game. Yeah, they're like the all kind of win condition as I see it. When you manage to drain or like bait blood from Nagoriyuki, you used to be able to put Nagoriyuki in a situation where they can't really like fix their footseize position anymore. So that's like when Sim controls this kind of range with Big Driver. But now, because even at high blood, you can go into Nago's install, Sim really can't ever say like, okay, now is my time and you don't get to do anything. You can always activate Yukimo, and even if you don't spend any blood afterwards, it's okay, like your blood math isn't going anywhere. It simply opens up the ability to use special move and keep that threat open. But the 2 stamina burner again into food, commits to the throw, and no longer can you get out of that with the use of PRC. Not that Revill had the meter anyway. Hoplan trying to fight out of the corner. Nice IBFDs. You absolutely want. Oh, nice! No! That's so dreadful. I feel like Revill read that with the dash jump, but Yukimo recovers so damn fast. There's like less than 10 frames of recovery. This reversal super is gonna be good. Removing decent amount of life as well as draining blood back for Hoplan. This could be almost a checkmate place. The DP with 1 into second hit overhead jump scare. Really hard to react to, even if you're basically whiffing the DP first hit into the air and then whiff canceling. It's still really hard to see because it all happens so fast without the the hit stop of the first hit. That's backdash out of the 6k. And look at those moves. Hoplan activates. But this is a big one. Revill able to get Hoplan into a blocking state, so no draining blood back here. In fact, Hoplan goes really high, but as soon as this blackness, this like dark aura goes away, it means that Yukimo is ready to be activated again. And I forgot what the startup of the install is. I think if you're at close quarters combat, you're not gonna activate it like that. You would rather get like a block string going or activate it from neutral. That's when it's the most safe to kind of go for. Lots of blood open. Hoplan will burn. It's kind of like how modern Nagoriyuki probably tends to be played. You burn up until level 3 and then cash out with the quotations free plus frames from the Yukimo. Oh, but got them with the frame trap close slash, the big party starter. Get a food there. So the food, how it functions in modern patch, it puts in a 2-second buff, which gives like a 50% acceleration for the startup of the recovery and then boosts the recovery itself a little as well. Oh, but there's a buffing here. Can we get there? Revill tried to go for a deep dash 5D to punish, but no dice. Goes under. Oh my god, that actually whiffs. Hoplan has a punish here. Mask on. It's a time stop. Sees it. Sees the DP as well. And Hoplan swings that big sword, taking a lead here early into this set. All right, our Finnish warrior definitely knows the name of the game, knows how it's played, knows Sin inside and out, uses Yukimo pretty early. I guess you were already kind of going into the level 3 territory, so no blood lost here. The 2 stamina burner again. Hoplan just completely comfortable taking the throw. That's... If Hoplan didn't burst that far slash immediately, Revill could have potentially hit confirmed 1 hit into Tyrant Barrel there. So supposedly pretty decent. Oh, sees the startup of too heavy! Revill with the big frame goggles. However, we're ready with the super here. They should catch the recovery of the far slash, or sorry, the close slash. There is 1 frame of gap there after all. If you go for the 2 stamina burner, like special to 6-6 into Gazelle step, you are +6, so your close slash does have a little bit of a gap there. Jumps out of the Yukimo, and able to put Hoplan in a blocking position. Far 5k whips by just a little. It's okay. We're gonna break the wall. And Hoplan hasn't been able to get any blood back after installing. Deflect shield kind of doesn't do anything because Revill was canceling into an L count. Hoplan at the very precipice will probably try to activate Yukimo immediately after it goes up. Look at that recovery! Hoplan is just completely ready to anti-air. Slide in there with the Hukyo 2S. Very hard for Sin to challenge. It's a really good hitbox. I was gonna say really hard to whiff punish for Sin, but Revill just goes in and gets a big driver whiff punish on that beast. While we avoids the Yukimo hitbox as well. Nice, well placed 2S. That's the thing. That's the thing in this matchup. You see Hoplan whiffing that 2S so much because it is ridiculously hard to whiff punish. Revill will have to work themselves into a very fine-tuned range if they want to repeat that absolutely crazy whiff punish with Beak that they got earlier. But like, how often, how consistently can you replicate that? That's not an easy thing to do. What? 2K catching the Kaburiyuki. Okay. Beyblade be damned. Hoplan not very phased though, pushing Revill to the corner, alleviating the pressure with the DP, and then the burst. Wow, got the backdash off on Hoof Stomp. I've never seen that happen, especially at that range. Hoplan is actually a defensive machine, but the extreme Naga throw range catching Revill from the 6K that was supposed to be spaced outside of throw range, and now the results are here. Hoplan, with a little bit of an advantage, activates Yukimo. Good potential. Oh, okay. I think that was an IB on Revill's part on the 5 heavy, which was able to keep them close enough to challenge afterwards. Like after blocking Nagoriyuki 5 heavy, you're generally pushed like very far away and can't really challenge even if you're very plus. But with the IB really like completely changes the spacing. 6 heavy, immediate burst, yeah. The second 6 heavy that could have followed there. Or like, well, whatever you get from that. It's like 5K into 6 heavy, that would have hurt so much. Got them with a throw, the food, and the link into close slash here on pressure is quite tight. There we go, with the one hit confirm. Those are the kind of hit confirms that you absolutely have to do in Season 5 Sin. Say it isn't so again. Can't get the throw timing, or sorry, the meaty timing there, getting thrown, back thrown in the Fraber situation. Revill, it's so tough though. Yukimo activated, +6. And with the heavy slashes, walking Revill down, not pressing the button too prematurely, caught the jump out with the DP, and Hoplan is absolutely on fire, blood gushing everywhere. On his way to potentially make the absolutely crazy thing happen. Makes the DP again, here's the 6 heavy, yep, immediate burst from Revill again. We saw this previous round as well. A lot of damage is negated from that. Activates Yukimo as an OTG. You can play it like that as well, I guess. Ooh, the Patience was trying to dash in with the 6P, but Hoplan went in with the trusted 2S. 2S, nothing beats that. Slides in there, and no reaction. You could argue no reaction, but that kind of like neutral forward Fukyo is not an easy kind of RPS for Sin or literally anybody. Because if you're not point blank, it's really hard to check because the Fukyo can be broken with the 2S very early. It's a nice peek with punish. Hoplan goes for an immediate burst, baits the burst on here, routes into a plot pop. Really nice, gets a close slash 6 heavy pickup. That's gonna be enough. Usually in those plot pop situations, you don't have enough juggle to get those huge pickups in, like close slash. A lot of the time you're just happy with a 5B and maybe try to get a wall stick, but Hoplan getting a big cash out here for the... I guess you're gonna have to assume that it was all calculated. The trades here, gonna be a pop, and Revill goes in with the big punish. 0 stamina spent for this as well, and I think it kills. Yeah, look at that. It's extremely punishing, like even more punishing than before to pop in this version, because they change, what did they change again? They change certain parameters that make you just like absolutely completely explode if you frick up your blood management. And it makes sense because Yukimo is so powerful that you absolutely have to pay for your mistakes if you pop with this version of Nagoriyuki. Ooh, this time though, Revill kind of looked like was trying to walk back there maybe. Or maybe mistimed the close slash. This is a top position, level 3 Nago. Look at that, that's so gruesome. What was that range? Tries to go for the throw, unfortunately a little bit too far. Caught them with the hoof stomp. Kara cancel into a clean hit for max damage. Hoplan has the reversal though. Are we gonna try to bait it? Yeah, this time I think Revill was trying to go for the shimmy here because Hoplan has been throwing 2 times in a row in the hard knockdown wall break situation. Ooh. Sees the air dash coming. PRC and saves himself with a quick 5P. This is a super important round for Revill. Revill needs an immediate momentum breaker here. Otherwise, Hoplan's just gonna run away with all that lead. There we go! Able to attack the startup of the Yukimo. That's one of the reasons why. Oh, nice! Got a DP conversion as well. We got them. Food. Yep. Gonna do wonders on that empty stamina bar. And look at here how fast the stamina is gonna start recovering. Boop, there it is. It's usually 4 seconds after you're done spending stamina. What a whip punish! And because we were kind of low on the stamina, uses tension to patch things up. Lots of life lead here. But Hoplan slides in with the drift RC. It's still activated. Revill can afford to play it pretty slow here. Jumps out of there, that's big, and that's gonna be a pop. Yes, indeed, the momentum has been broken. And the Italian Sin Hero looking to potentially bring this back. These top players, we always keep saying this, they've been in these situations countless times before, and one of the selling factors of top players like this is like they have the mental. They have the mental. They can endure in situations where it's still where it looks really grim. But it's only what 5 games that we need here. It's looking like a bait, and no canceling out of it. Hoplan wouldn't have had the tension anyway. The close slash dash cancel combo, taking a wall break. Boom shakalaka. 1 stamina in the tank as well, so we have some amount of tricks that we can do here. Deflect shield into Yukimo. Revill just opting to wait it out, kind of hanging around the sort of the distance where you could potentially like dash punish 5 heavy on with. And or the further you are from Nagoriyuki, the easier it is also to sort of react to forward Fukyo and pick your option. Oh, nice wave punish there. I think we're punishing a 2K into Kara DP. Revill is so good with those conversions. Eat a little fish, break the wall. But now Hoplan again has a lot of resources to play with here. The reversal super especially is very scary because it's a 9-framer, it returns blood, and most importantly, it reaches so damn far. Revill gets there in time. Into needs 1 more combo, I reckon. Yep, even with the level 3 minus blood modifier on Hoplan at the moment. Deflect shield saves him. Oh, but the 5 heavy is a big whiff this time. I mean, I blinked and I missed. I'm not sure if Hoplan had the 50 meter ready to go to PRC there, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes you miss the opportunity. And for an instant air backdash jump, heavy shimmy here on Revill's side, trying to draw out those throws. And your shimmy gameplay is super important against Nago on a strike throw character like Sin, because you know they're gonna try to throw. They have the grappler throw range. I can do a whiff punish. Even if you don't get the clean punish, like, oh, is it recovered in time? I don't think so. Hoplan is gonna score this, and this will drain a lot of blood back. The blood pressure will go down, and Hoplan no doubt is gonna bait the burst. The DP this time. Here it comes though. No longer the king of the jungle kind of DP. Oh, really nice choice there for Hoplan. Burst. As soon as the the super was gonna come out, I mean, if you know how Sin works, there's no choice, like there's no doubt in your mind that Revill was gonna super there, right? This is, I think, one of the downsides of Sin. His routes are extremely simple and extremely easy to predict. You absolutely know at the end of the combo there is gonna be a super for Sin. There's no doubt about it. So it's really hard for Sin to like counterplay those like very precisely timed bursts. against your super timings. Base the burst here. Sorry, the DP here. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be bursting here. Revill is just gonna have to let it go and go into a set point position. Playing 6P and Hoplan absolutely playing out of their mind with this new, maybe buffed question mark. Nagoriyuki frame traps into the 6K. Burst has been used. No burst anymore. Got there in time before Yukimo was activated, so this is a good start for Revill. High blood. Knocking on the heaven's door on the 50 tension as well. Hoplan is 2. Oh yes, there it is. I think that's probably the new way that you have to play this this matchup at full screen. Oh, is this 100? Yeah, 100 burnage. Boom. Is it enough? It is enough. There we go. 100 meter RTL, my beloved. Such massive amount of damage. I love characters who can cash out by spending all of the juice. Oh, that was a very late hit. It's gonna hurt like hell. Hoplan could activate Yukimo here. Are we gonna take the plus frames? Waiting for the DP. Oh, sorry, the 6P. Revill able to get out of there. That was a big RPS win. Ready with the 6P. Spending the stamina as well. Empowered by only 50 tension. Both players looking for a hit. Next one is going to be big. Activating the +6. Revill doesn't flinch. Can't really do anything. Jumps in the dash jump into RTL conversion. This will take the wall. 1 stamina left in the bar. If Revill gets a counter hit close slash, far slash, unfortunately, that doesn't reach. And the gold burst is punished because it whiffs. Is Hoplan gonna do it? DP, only 1. Jumps out of the throw. And now, Hoplan can't get the burst. Is it gonna kill? Just before the burst comes back, are you kidding me? I was holding my breath. So there were a couple of different things that Revill could have done there. I think if you are absolutely cracked, you could say that, okay, I'm gonna build the meter after Elk so I can Kara super, but the RC was also pretty safe kind of a maneuver. Now still at a very tough position here, Revill, down 3 games against the Finnish superhero, the new age of players that we've gotten. This guy wasn't even playing at release, has basically caught up to the rest of the competition in a couple of years' time. Yukimo still activated, tries to anti-air with the close slash, however! Nah, you shall not do that, that was nerfed! No more close slash anti-airing. It's okay. Hoplan, once again, in the set point position, sends a Kamuriyuki, finds a normal hit, that's okay. Opponent in the corner, however, Revill finds a hit out of there, far slash 6, big 1-2. Trying to check the Fukyo, the 2P whiffs, here comes Nagoriyuki, piloted by Hoplan. He's gonna super, it's gonna do a lot, is it gonna be over? Revill has around 75% and a full burst ready to go, so we do have options. I think you gotta play it safe and play the metered option. No, they're just gonna press the buttons. Absolute mad lad, +6, but very far away. Here comes Hoplan, have to find the burst. Baits it. Revill knows there was no way that Hoplan wasn't gonna bait it, right? Stamina coming back. We're looking for a whiff punish, but it's so hard. It's so freaking hard. Oh, he gets it! He fucking gets it into an overdrive conversion. This is a hard knockdown. Shimmies, Hoplan, backdashes. Small little RPS win for Hoplan. But Hoplan! Hoplan still has the burst. Oh my god. Here he comes. Anti-airs. Revill knows that was way too easy of an anti-air. Here comes the clone. The far slash just before. Revill is still somehow alive. After that nail biter, he has to take another round to be able to survive. That's a lot of blood spent here, but gets a throw. Hard knockdown in the corner, 5k, and then waits. 2 stamina out of the corner. Ooh, got them, even though that was a far slash. That's good enough. If it's close enough, you can convert into the same routes that you get from close slash. And now, sending that 2S. The 2S really good on high blood. It's gonna be low blood now. The burst has to come sooner or later. There we go with slightly delayed one. 100 meter, all stamina. But can we do it? This is Nago 3 blood. Level 3, help! Can't do anything. Sid, what can I do? Tries to jump out. That's still gonna be minus. Connecting normal in an airborne opponent. Hoplan, no fear. There is nothing to be done. With the 100 meter, you can't super RC anymore. And if you send a DP, it's your funeral if it whiffs. And the zoning, the boxing, the control from Nagoriyuki. Absolutely crazy play. Look at this guy. Who is that man? Where is he walking to? Is he gonna go to Aleppo and buy, I don't know, a celebratory... What's a product that Hoplan likes? I don't know. What the fuck? Okay. Well, at least I'm not gonna have to... so here's the good news and bad news. Bad news, Team Sin taking a loss. Good news, I'm gonna keep bitching about this matchup because like Sin Nagoriyuki, holy... Not to take anything away from Hoplan, what a crazy ass match. This is like, it doesn't get much better than this. Like what kind of Sin player could challenge you after this? Like Patachu? There's nothing more that you can like face other than Patachu that's like a notch better than this. We are at the top level of competition. What an absolute nail biter of a match. And we still have rest of the evening to go through. Wow, I'm exhausted. Can we end here? This is too much for my heart. I'm way too invested in the first set matchup. That's why I usually try to not schedule all the best, like all the most exciting matches for the first slot, because I tend to go a little overboard. It's way too excited. It's way too exciting. Holy, okay. Okay, everybody take a breath. Everybody take a little breath. Next one is gonna be Zato versus Unica. We've got how is our Zato player's name actually pronounced? Let me quickly check my cheat sheet if there's a. It's like M10? M10? Okay. M10? That sounds good to me. And on the right side, we're gonna have Priscilla coming back for the first time in like a couple of years. I think Priscilla gave up Strive for a little while and has been back for 2.0 for now. Let's see, what is M10's? Oh, I see. Okay. Holy moly! It's probably like one of the most exciting matches of, like, emotionally relatable and exciting matches that I've casted for a while on Bounty Hunters. I'm gonna try to shut my mouth about the like I'm way too excited, but we have other things to do other than, you know, gloss over Sin versus Nagoriyuki here. So more Kisk family here. We've got Unica. Unica, a character that is almost even more Shoto-like than the king himself, Kai. In a way, I guess, or you could say maybe like a little bit more Street Fighter-like in a sense. Because like standard fireball, well, I wonder if that's true in this version of the game. Because Kai got some really nice like extra layer on his fireball in 2.0. The lightning strike, where he can call basically a vertical hitbox from the sky at any time during the sort of the travel arc of your fireball, giving another sort of layer to call out people trying to jump over your fireballs. Very much like, you know, a little bit of a Street Fighter thing in there. Because like it's really hard to prevent the opponent from moving around and jumping around in air dashers, right? Because like these games have very varied amount of like options, mobility in the air. So like it doesn't really quite play out like Street Fighter does. And that's kind of like the reason why I think of Unica as sort of like Ryu of Guilty Gear Strive, because you have a very strong fireball that actually forces your opponent to act slightly different. Unika's fireball being a beam, like an instant hitbox, makes it like way more something like you have to care about, right? Because you can't just jump out on a moment's notice, then air dash back and be completely safe. As soon as it activates, it's there, and if you were there, then you're gonna get hit or you're gonna, take it on block. Okay, M10's first matchup on Bounty Hunters, and first matchup for Priscilla since Hell knows since forever. Here's to hoping it's gonna pan out. The loading screen surely taking its sweet little time here. Surely all of these connection problems wouldn't persist in 2.0, right? 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 It's funny, both players being like, huh? What's going on? Don't tell me. Ishiwatari, don't tell me you didn't fix it. You didn't fix the problems, did you? Okay, let's try one more time. If that doesn't work, we'll do the #1 usual fix and try to have one of the participants host the room instead of me. I think the players just can't see each other, right? Yeah, okay, so the problem is we can't see him, so that means we're gonna have to do something to fix it. So we'll have one of the players host a room and see if that's gonna work better. If there's something good, previous week I think we had 0 like spectator desyncs. So I'm still living a fantasy where like the spectator dropouts are kind of gone in this version. Alright, hopping in. Let's see if this works. Zato versus Unica is such an interesting matchup. I'm of course a huge Unica fan myself. I'm a sucker for standard characters. Let it be known, and not shamed about it either. Basic vanilla bitch. It is what it is. Okay, now it loads. Game time.
Instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
As far as Zato changes go, I'm not like too familiar with what the status of Zato is this patch. Unica is kind of looking good. Her 6 heavy did gain a hitbox, so while she did lose some combo routing, namely, I think her Greed Sever, her 214K, does not juggle as well anymore. You can now sort of go for combo routes using your 6 heavy because it has a hitbox and then like DP loop and stuff like that. So she still, as far as I've understood, has pretty decent damage in the corner. You blast them away with a blue laser. Far slash slash, dash cancel into RPS. The simple like far slash slash or 2/2/ does give you decent amount of cancel options because you do get your arbalest state, so even your slide is gonna be only -4 on block. Cannot really realistically be punished. And you of course have your Kara overhead, you have your laser, and like blue laser, the empowered or the arbalest laser is extremely plus on block and a guard crush. So she has a very interesting little RPS game from her far pokes. Ooh, using the, what's that move called? Float? Sending little guy behind. Ooh, goes for the throw a little bit too early. Priscilla's throw also broken. We got that with the Pierce, and now... What I've been playing against ZoKHiZ players, though, they patch the sort of combo. Oh, the big 5 heavy slam down. Even with the simple 1-2-3, dealing quite a reasonable amount of damage. First out of here, yeah. Unica's corner combos hurt quite a bit. That was a really nice angle. Coming down with the guillotine, whatever move that is, jump slash. And now pressuring in the corner, working in tandem with your buddy. Basically the penultimate way how you always want to play ZoKHiZ, one of the original puppet characters of the... Oh my goodness, the 5 heavy. Basically the breadwinner, the moneymaker button for Unica for sure. If you want to stop somebody into big fat 200 plus amount of damage, 5 heavy got your back. And Unica's 5 heavy is like 10 frames of startup as well, so it's a really fast button to press. The only downside is that it's a little slow there on the recovery side. With the frame trap into 5 heavy. Where's the little buddy? Where's the Pierce? The Pierce way back. And Priscilla buying none of that junk. Slide ends up whipping a little bit too far away. Here comes the float. Building the sandwich. And resetting into one last touch. The 2K is actually active there. However, doesn't manage to convert out of the stagger. I think there was a counter hit there as ZoKHiZ surfaced from the break the law. But I mean, Unica's not definitely known for her K buttons. I would say one of my least favorite features of this character, Unica, is that her K buttons especially are a little clunky. Like way below average frame data on her 5K and especially 2K. But on the other hand, her S and heavy buttons are quite beefy. So there's definitely like a design philosophy somewhere in there. The wall with the Sun Void. This will refund the little eddy gauge, which you can see above ZoKHiZ's tension gauge. Oh, and the DP is so punishable this patch. Unica's DP used to be a 2-hitter. I mean, it is still a 2-piece, but I think the grounded second hit now cannot hit opponents on the ground. So it's much less of a whatchamacallit, a knowledge check now. And much more minus as well, so giving you a very cozy little dash in close slash punish if you do manage to draw it out. The wall stake with the jump D, break it, positive bonus coming in as well without the meter penalty. There is a relevant choice now in the 2.0 strive where if you break the wall with the HKD, aka with your super, your positive bonus meter gain is gonna be nerfed quite a bit. But then on the other hand, if you break the wall with a normal, you're not gonna get a hard knockdown, but you do get the meter built from the positive bonus. Priscilla, on her last leg, goes for the 5 heavy, the trusted. If Nagayuki the previous matchup was the character who hits a lot of 2S, then in this matchup, Priscilla on the Unica is probably gonna be hitting that 5 heavy quite a bit in the sort of the close far range-ish. A big combo from M10. It's grounded by the Unica jump K. Send the laser. Very minus on block, so you're never gonna be jailed by the lasers at this kind of distance. Working in tandem with the little guy, Sun Void once again. The super that refunds or rather recharges your whole little eddy gauge. Ooh, what a mash there! 5p to stop the 2 heavy from Priscilla. Now completely out of the puppet. This takes how long is it in the modern patches? Less than 7 seconds? Something like 6 to 7 seconds to recharge the whole puppet gauge. Let the ball break, the life situation kind of even, but the resource definitely favoring N10 here and sends the Amorphous. Not a true reversal super, I think, but still works extremely fast in these. Or wait, is it a reversal? Am I silly? No, it's not a reversal, but it's very fast once you get it started up, right?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Going with the slide and the red version. So basically the significance of the red specials and blue specials for Unica is that the red ones are non-powered. They're usually like not very good in terms of frame data. So for example, if you send the red sledge or the red stun dipper variant, it's basically a DP on block. But then the blue variants, if you go through your SS chains or if you enter your stance with 6 heavy, you go into this mode called Arbalest, and then your blue special moves will come out, which are way better in their damage, convertibility, frame data, everything. Once again, using the float to create a little sandwich here. Goes on summon really fast as well. Utilizing the flight mechanic, engaging from a very awkward angle. It's always like a little bit of RPS there. If you're trying to anti-air Zato, who's using the flight, and you're grounded yourself, timing is really peculiar. That's why a lot of players usually love to go air-to-air instead against the flying Zato. Oh, no way out for free. Spent the burst as well. However, Empted picks it up. Ends it in. Oh, we're trying to do some shenanigans here. Getting punished there, coming out of the break the law. Oh, misses the jump K, but Priscilla also ended up missing their grounded poke. And like we said earlier, Unica definitely on the slower side of recovery for her buttons. I think like she had like one button that is kind of okay. Was it 2S? I forgot. But generally, like she's not the most safe character if you whip your buttons. But on the other hand, her like far pokes are pretty massive. Like far slash reach is really far away, 2 slash reach is really far away, and heavy buttons have absolutely crazy hitboxes. So it balances out. Now the sandwich here, the overhead using the jump D very late into the jump arc. Can we get an ender? Misses the 2 heavy, so can't get a Soundboy this time. Fire seed to get off me. Not quite, not very plus there on the red laser, and now having to proc more puppet pressure. However, went for a quick little unsummon here. Priscilla breaking that out of the corner, looking for one more hit to the other side, and then able to see the cross up. The blue Greed Sever as well, I think not punishable on block anymore, if I recall correctly, but still quite minus if you do manage to stand up and block it. Can be converted now though with the use of meter, I think, even without a counter hit. A little bit too far there on the throw, so forced to use the burst very early here. I mean, I guess 15 seconds into the round is not. Yo, look at that! The 6 heavy hurt box or the hit box being put on showcase here, anti-airing with it. And it definitely works. I haven't actually checked what the size of that box is, but you know, it's there. It's definitely there. DPing the little guy. So the combo isn't gonna be the most exotic, but also Empted didn't need the most exotic combo to begin with. A quick little ABC into cancel into that buffed, what is it? Buffed not break the law. What's the drill? The oh my god, I'm blanking out on the special moves. Drill it is, but the startup of the drill got a little bit better, so you can now combo your normals more easily into it. Ooh, got them with the 2D. So inbound with a very decent conversion. Boom shakalaka, decent amount of damage there for sure. And Priscilla getting the positive bonus here. Oh, that tension is gonna play play into this combo if it doesn't kill. It does though. Running the frame trap into a simple far slash into the slide. Very basic, but very significant amount of damage and gives you OK as well. Of course, the block, pressure in the corner. This is tough. Oh, the 2K mash! Actually able to get the puppet out of there. That's huge. But M10, not quite ready to give up the pressure position. YRC as well. Both players fighting tooth and nail, using all of their resources in order to either not get put in that fucked up position or trying to keep the opponent in the fucked up position. Nice backdash. Gets a punish there on the throw. Ooh, poking the little guy. So now M10 will have to work solo for a while. There we go. Can summon once again. And the burst from Priscilla just in the nick of time. Sending the little guy and then following it up. Unsummon into more pressure. Goes for a throw. The opponent not throwable though. I reckon Priscilla was still in the throw invulnerability window there. Can we get the kill? Not quite. Send the froggy. Clap a couple of times. YRC destroys the little guy, and then with the jump arc of Unica. Unica's kind of unique in the sort of Gold Lewis and May kind of way. So she comes down from her instant air dash angle really fast. And you could think it's, in certain situations, it's a benefit, and in some others, it is a downside. But basically, like, it does give you access to some really hard to see mix-ups and some really nice instant air dash pressure if your opponent doesn't anti-air you. Oh, yeah, you can absolutely reflect that using Drunkard Shade now. DPing the little guy, close slash punish, so not getting out of it scot-free. The combo, I think, you would have to launch your target to get the Sunvoid to combo now, right? Drunkard Shade, Priscilla on her last leg, swings a far slash, that's gonna be a miss, and M10 approaching from the skies. Ooh, got them with a really nice combo, and they're unsummoned there as well. Look at all of that meter. When the gauge is white, it basically has the unsummon bonus coming back really fast, which you can basically give up your puppet at any point of your string and just kickstart your puppet recovery. Tap into the 5D. No, sir. 5P. Oh my god, he's still got the bait there. And Priscilla, unfortunately, has no tools to get out of this one anymore. M10 moving forward with a lot of force on their debut match on that very elusive, not very often seen character, Zato. Maybe he's gonna have a resurgence on 2.0, who knows? And now we'll still have to wait quite a while before the puppet can be played. A simple 2K 2D knockdown is big though, while you're trying to stall for time and wait for your puppet to come back. It's too dangerous to go alone. You must take your body with you. That's the whole crux of this character, Zato. I think the whiff punish there, but the backdash does recover for quite a while. Ooh, caught them. Priscilla immediately goes for the burst. 5K ends up whiffing. M10 too low profile. And fights out of the corner with the red sever. M10 ready to spend the burst though. Keep the opponent nice and still. Puppet is ready to be summoned here. Then the whiff punish again. Ooh, Priscilla finding the whiff punish instead, but not the follow through. You do have to go into your special moves to actually cash out big time. Amorphous is gonna deliver big damage. And the wall damage nuke as well, putting M10 at 6. It's going oh so well for our newcomer.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, very good patience there. Not even hitting any anti-airs. Once again, floating a little upwards, sending... Speaking of floating, I mean, I was talking about Zato floating, but I guess you can float your pet as well. Send the Sun Void. It's gonna end the combo, but also give most of your, or rather all of your puppet gauge back. Taking a couple of back steps here. Matrix does. Wow, those. Can we talk about those drunker shades? Is Emkin doing those on reaction? Because he's been hitting a considerable amount of those red lasers on the reflect. I mean, I guess it doesn't reflect in that case because of the nature of the hitbox, but it does still protect you against the projectile. Nice punish there. Too heavy is quite minus. You usually have to cancel into one of your special moves. Here's the summon. Pierce switching sides, being very tricky. That should be the kill. Able to send it too heavy. First set point position for M10. Starting with the 5 heavy, the party starter. Deals quite a significant amount of damage, even though that was just a simple 5 heavy and its follow-up. Dash cancel into a throw break. Once again, M10 is ready for it. Float. Ooh, unfortunate trade here. Now M10 will have to wait a moment. Dash cancel again. Far slash into guard crush laser. A little bit too far to take advantage of the lots of the plus frames that Priscilla got there. Sending the slide. Ooh, but it's the blue slide. Red slide would have gotten punished for sure. The follow of the 2SS. Follow up catching M10. Puppet coming back. Can we get an anti-air? No, sir. The far slash ends up whiffing. Here we go. Summoning into oppose. And throwing. One more. Oh, it's Priscilla who's throwing this time. Can't get a wall break here, I reckon. Yep, DP into... Why did you make a mistake? No remorse. And I think Priscilla can't even give any sort of... can't give any remorse here. Will have to take every little advantage that she can get. Gold burst, unfortunately whiffs, but also semi-safe. 6 heavy into nothing. Backdashing out of there. M10 is in offensive position. Ready to strike from the ground, from the air. What are we gonna summon into? We send the froggy, we send again. Teleport with your guy, and then throw. Is that it? That's gonna be it. Amorphous. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Extremely strong performance here. Looking real good. And most importantly, I think, most fancily, utilizing the float. I think this is the first Zato player using the new special move that Zato got in previous patches. Has pretty much unseen on bounty hunters so far, I want to say. But this is like the first time we actively have been able to like see what you can do with that. Which is kind of cool. I think they kind of tried to design themselves into that, like design Zato into that, like taking away some options that Zato could do earlier and then making the flow a little bit more sort of attractive now. All right, let's host our room again. And hope we'll get till the end with this room intact. The next one is gonna be a random select match. So give me a moment. I'm gonna prep this up. Okay, so the name of the game here is, so even though Spooky's card does show jam, this is actually random versus random with a little bit of a twist. So how we're gonna do this is, maybe it's actually best for me to show you. So Mox is gonna have, oh, actually I should probably I should ask whether the players want to play with duplicates or no duplicates. We usually have option to take the character that you just randomed into out of the pool, but you could also opt to keep it in the pool. Kind of two different ways you want to go about it. Okay, so Spooky's choice is it's gonna be no dupes, except the... let me actually show you. So if you look at the bottom right corner of the screen where we have the wheel for Spooky, you can notice that there is jam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 entries of jam in Spooky's wheels, giving it like a increased chance to land on that new character. Whereas I believe Mox's wheel is gonna be just standard one. And I think Mox is also no dupes. Okay, so if I got this correctly, both players are no dupes except the jams. So we're not gonna remove jams from Spooky's pool. Okay. And of course, on the screen you see the sort of the power tiers for each player for how they self-evaluated how they play these characters. So we have a little bit of an idea how the characters that we random into, like around what level they are for these players. So Mox is gonna start with Asuka, who is at the very bottom of the barrel. Understandable, because this is a very, very technical character, and it's gonna jam right into jam for Spooky. So the jam is gonna stay in the pool, but I believe we are gonna remove Asuka from the pool from Mox. And this is basically the flow of the set. And I think I already put the room on non-rematch, so we should be covered there. Interestingly, even though Jam is the newest character, Spooky does rate her very high up in his sort of character hierarchy, if you will. And that does kind of make sense, because Jam is fairly straightforward but very powerful kind of a character. Like, you can start deriving power out of this character probably like day one. And her combo pathing is like varied, but I think not too difficult to execute. So even though you need to perhaps sort of remember or memorize different routes because of how her empowered specials work and what have you. Her combo execution not necessarily like super the most difficult out there. Alright, but the weather forecast for the first match is that Mox has randomed into one of her weakest characters, and Spooky has randomed into one of his best characters. So take it as you will, and let's see how it's gonna go. Asuka is also like extra vulnerable in a way, because like if you go pop, if you run out of mana, the special mechanic that he has that other characters don't, his unique resource, if you run out of mana, you're extremely vulnerable. You can't cast your spells, you have the worst defensive modifier in the game, and like everything is just all around horrible for you. And it's kind of hard to sort of manage that resource if you're not an avid Asuka player. Ooh, and the Dragon Kick looks like it does go through all of those standard cubes as well. Like, I don't know much about this matchup yet, but seeing Ryujin just power through all of those gives me a couple of those shivers, tremors, if you will. RC after the Ryutsui, keep up the pressure. Just being able to flip the position. Like, even if you don't exactly have a good feel for how the spells work, the wizard still has like not good, but okay special moves. You have something like 2D, which is like a low projectile glued to the ground. So you can have some surprises to catch your opponent off guard if you just want to use like absolute bare bone basics. Out of the mana once again. But it's probably not gonna matter too much because Mox is very, very low on that life bar. Trying to snipe a hit. Ryutsui. Changing the adrenaline check there. Oh my god, the blue cube actually arcing upwards and catching Spooky out of the Ryutsui. Kind of works as a oh my god, just sending the dragon kick. Boom, shakalaka. If there are projectiles, they probably are a non-issue at that point. Got them with the low. Send just a basic cube. One thing is that if you do commit to a dragon kick, it is, unless you have 50 meter to save yourself, yeah, like that, it is very punishable. Generally gonna be a close slash punish. Can take an aerial punish if you like an aerial punish if you want to. Can also punish the opponent on the ground. Wall break here. Mox working just with the bare bone basics. Ooh, that's gonna be a punish and should be. Oh, nice! There was a combo into the drop meteor. So we do have some capabilities of firing just the standard spell or two. And I think working with the test case 1 is definitely the best thing to do because you have the most amount of like just standard cubes into plus frames in your. Oh, never mind. Okay, I guess we're gonna change it to test case 3 then. Forget all that I said. Mox does know some swag for sure. Oh, and the empowered dragon kick immediately breaking the wall with the clean hit, which I believe happens when you're close enough to the opponent, I presume, or close enough to the corner. Oh, kicking through once again, sending it. Boom. First one for Spooky. Somewhat expected outcome, considering what we sort of randomed into. But hey, the random for Mox is gonna be Gold Lewis next. For Spooky. It is gonna be Jam again. So yeah, it's how many characters are there? I think 32 characters. So if we do quick math, 32 characters plus 4 extra. So it's gonna be like around it's I'm not gonna put myself on blast not being able to do math, but it is a decent amount of chance that you're gonna random into this cluster of 5 jams. Oh, we didn't talk about the Gold Lewis, but Gold Lewis also the second worst character for Mox. But hey, here's the good news. Because we're doing a variant which does remove the character from the wheel, Mox ain't gonna be randoming into these 2 extremely bad character for the rest of the set. So there's that for sure. So the most garbage picks are out of the way. And I mean, saving grace here is like getting your worst. Like if you're gonna lose with these characters anyway, you might as well get the good characters out of your opponent's pick. Although, but never mind, forget what I said because this is Jam and this is like with the unique rule for Spooky. And actually, these jams are not going anywhere. So if this was like any other super good character for Spooky, they would get removed and then you would get like a maximum trade-off there. Just like playing your weakest character into the opponent's best characters. Okay, move on. Yeah, these jams are here to stay. Ooh, wait, the Ryujin, the normal Ryujin from the front is -1 or -2, right? From the back though, Not only a cross-up, but also producing plus frames. Although, do we know the frame data? Or more importantly, are we comfortable enough to press those slow buttons from Gold Lewis? Every character does have their 5-framer though, so there is that. No anti-air with the close slash. Here come the fast kick buttons from our chef. YRC works out, send the dragon kick, doesn't break the wall because it was not enhanced. And then dash in, I think that was a 6P, right? Still haven't perfectly learned the what all of the, you know, the special move or the moves look like, but it's gonna be another one for Spooky. And Lucy next for Mox. Lucy is located in the power tiers around. Is it another relatively new character? Where is she? Potemkin is gonna be the pick for Spooky, which is in the B tier, so around mid tier for Spooky, and Lucy is around mid tier, like lower mid tier C. Much closer in sort of the skill tier unified between these two players here this time around. So this should be the sort of first, perhaps even match. Of course, these are just approximations. So even if both players would have, say, their random character in the B tier, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to be even. There's a lot of variation. These are just sort of gut feelings and everything. So that's kind of like the long-winded way of saying that this is chaotic. This is a very chaotic game mode. Ooh, we have some technical difficulties here. Mox not getting the game recognize her controller at the moment. Might warrant a reboot. That does sometimes happen. Oh, there we go. Okay. A classic zoner versus grappler matchup here. Oh yeah, Lucy, by the way, from the Edge Runners, is like, wait a second, what is this character? If you've never seen Guilty Gear Strive, like, is there overlap between these two franchises? Well, collab, I guess. So cool though. I would definitely main Lucy if she's good. Yo, send me some tier lists. If Lucy is high tier, we might consider a pocket Lucy at some point. Oh, that's so cool with the red eyes. But anyway, so Lucy got quite a lot of different changes. I guess the most prominent immediate one is that her whip is now gonna draw the opponent in. The gun also got quite a lot of changes. Some of her hacks have been changed. There's actually quite a bit. Getting back from here into your standard guard crush, jump pressure. One cool thing is that her mobility, her movement speed is extremely fast. So even if Potemkin has gotten that improved 6 heavy, which kind of allows you to play more footsies than you played before. Which one are these? So the 3 back ones were Contagion, which is just, oh wait, is that Contagion? No, I think that was the new hack, which makes you get a guard crush on your heavy buttons, right? Because the resistance glitch was changed so that now if the opponent has the resistant glitch hack applied to them, your heavy buttons actually inflict a lot of plus frames because they cause a guard crush. Oh, but too close! Charging the modifier! And Spooky having none of that at that range. The deflect shield, all that meter is gonna look at the damage! Oh my goodness! Yeah, I reckon the defensive modifier on Lucy is not the highest. She's definitely an archetype that is probably on the softer side of things. Right, Mox is definitely praying for a character that she's a little bit more comfortable. May is May that? Is May that? Question? No, she isn't. At the very bottom of the list, D. Basically the lowest tier character that you can get at this point. It is gonna be Asuka for Spooky though this time around. And Asuka is kinda hard to pilot, but if I recall correctly, this wasn't even the worst character for Spooky, right? I mean, it's kind of bad. It's in the C tier, so this is gonna be the battle of like relatively low power tier picks for both of the players. Of course, the absolute jackpot picks for Mox would be the main, which is Baiken and the Leo and the Johnny. But it is, of course, luck of the draw and all that in this game mode. Let's see how it goes. Like, May is pretty good at mauling the opponent. Let's see how well Spooky can actually hold down the fort with the spells. Holding on to 3 basic cubes and a screamer, so very balanced start there. Now you can, as far as I've understood, you can actually throw your staffs on the ground without having to have the spells. In fact, they are just deleted from your spell list. I don't have to deal with them anymore, which is kind of cool, because one of the biggest problems I would say for Asuka was that you could sort of get very bricked hands, especially since those staves are options for you to random into. So if you're wondering how Asuka even works in the first place, above his tension gauge you can see the unique spell icons. She has a deck of cards out of which he can always draw another card, which is drawn basically randomly. And then you kind of have to adjust to the pace and kind of check what spell you get, and then make an executive decision like which one of the spells you are gonna cast. But he is a very resource management character through and through, sending the only spell available, and it scores a knockdown. Well held. You only need one, right? Who needs a full hand anyway? So speaking of full hand, the spells here for Spooky, if he is gonna run out of spells, he can cast the first slot and the third slot spell to basically immediately fill your hand with new spells. Putting a staff down, which one is it? I can't recognize the staffs yet without seeing their icons. So there's definitely that we're gonna have to work towards. Here comes the May. Strike, throw, pressure. One of the most dangerous glow slashes in the game. Attack level 4, that means you're +3 on block on that one, whereas standard glow slashes are only +1. So they say +1, +3 for May, of course. Boom! It's gonna be enough, and Spooky takes the 4th one in a row. Surely next one. Surely next one is gonna be good for Mox. That's how RNG works. It always balances out. Oh, is it the? Oh my god, it's gonna be another. No way this character is anywhere good for Mox. So Happy Chaos is. Where is Happy Chaos? It is in C tier. I would wager that Mox ain't gonna be able to pilot that one, right? With the rework and everything. And Abba for Spooky is where? Abba. And he said thank you for the music because Abba is in B tier. So it's gonna be another toughie for Mox. I wonder has Mox played even a game of the new sort of the remade Happy Chaos? That's the problem here, because Happy Chaos is extremely changed for the 2.0 version. Even if you've potentially piloted this character in the past, what about now? Can you do the infinites? Can you do the infinites on Happy Chaos? The completely balanced like Blockstring Infinite, which does, allegedly require quite a bit of execution to be able to do. But if you can do, this is potentially gonna be Yeah, we could be looking at an Evo Japan winning character here, because we're gonna be playing this patch all the way through Evo Japan, happening like in a couple of weeks, or how soon is that? It's kind of funny that the new raw version like has quite a lot of bugs, which none of them ain't gonna be finished or fixed for the big tournament. Alright, Spooky is gonna go pop here, and that, I think, does give you a guaranteed punish this version. They've made the resource management extremely brutal on this version of ABBA. It's kind of almost back to the plus R, or the XX variation of ABBA, right? If she fucks up her resource management, it's like, it's over. It's over. No take backsies, no savies, no nothing. If you pop, you're out like Nagoriyuki. Activating here with very little blood to spend. Can we deactivate? No, sir. Getting a jump slash, but unfortunately, Mox was a little bit too high up in the air, so the jump slash not gatlinging into much. Hopping to the other side. RC after the... Ooh, taps the 5D. However, Mox stands up. Crisp overhead reaction on the on the whatchamacallit, 20-second reaction check. The G too heavy into activation. Only a couple of seconds here. Is it gonna pop? Can we get the punish? Yes, indeed. Jumps backwards, reads the reversal super as well. But I mean, Happy Chaos, what can you do unless you're absolutely comfortable controlling the gun mechanic, which you can take out with your 5 heavy input, but it kind of looks like Mox not at the best place in terms of how the new gun functions. It's very, like, it's kind of same, but at the same time very different from previous iterations of Happy Chaos. For one, you can't just take it out. I think currently it always produces the gun flip animation that you could see there. So you can't just bust it out and start shooting. Or I mean, you can, but you can't. BRC able to throw breaks. 6P works out as well. And Spooky at the moment, not enough jelly to go for the activation. Will have to interact with a character that is, but then, oh no! No shots have been fired! But the hands are still shaky. Something, Mom Spaghetti into... Okay, 5 seconds of activation, taps the 5. Oh my god, Mox is not taking any of those 20 framers. Gun is out, we got the close slash, that's gonna be a true punish. However, messing up the sequence, back throw, this could still be anybody's game. And I think at the moment, Spooky probably favored to win, but Mox does have the resources, whips the throw, can't utilize that 50 meter anymore. If this was a previous version, Mox would have absolutely PRC'd that and smack dabbed Spooky in the face, but nah, that's not gonna happen anymore. Modern version of Guilty Gear and all. There is no way out of your throws. Alright, calling out for the Leo, calling out for the bike, and the call remains unanswered. The gods of RNG not smiling on Mox, for it is gonna be Kai. Where is Kai? Kai is C tier as well. Mox has had like a exceptionally bad luck throughout this this ordeal. Happy Chaos for Spooky. Yeah, I think Mox hasn't gotten a single character from the upper half of her tier list. Whereas Happy Chaos is, where is that for Spooky? Yeah, in the D tier. Understandable. It's I think unless you've been putting like all of your time into this character in the new version, you probably don't know how to pilot him. That's probably the tail of the tape here. So maybe Mox has an advantage here, but I mean it's definitely in no player's immediate favor for sure. Well, we do have the new improved, or rather new way of playing your fireballs. We have the lightning strike, which we already saw there for Mox. In the throw, setting up the heavy fireball. Ooh, with the close slash anti-air, and because the opponent is electrified with extra combo potential as well. Generally, Kai can route into his heavy DP and launch the opponent super high if you do have the electricity put on by one of your fireballs or your dire eclate. And takes the stance, but doesn't get any of the shots off. One cool thing about the gun is that it no longer has the reticle uncertainty mechanic, so it now, when it locks, and there's, like, as far as I've understood, there's no RNG about it, but it does lock a little slower, right? And there is sort of lots of recovery coming out of the shots. I still have to educate myself in the ways of Happy Chaos, how this guy works in the modern patch. Looking to potentially watch Tiger Pop later. Oh, where's the shot? Where's the shot? Where it coming from? Just firing plasma. One is good enough. One of the cool things, I think, during the startup of your fireball, you can also fire a lightning strike. Okay, Mox is on the board. And not a moment too late. 5 points for your opponent is kind of like a sweet spot to start your absolutely crazy comeback. Speaking of comeback, that's a Leo. That's a Leo. Finally getting some good luck on Mox's side. Randoming into that sweet old S tier. And what is Spooky gonna win with or rock with? It's gonna be Dizzy. Leo Dizzy. Dizzy is B tier, so not too bad, but I reckon that some of these top picks for Mox are mighty strong. If we sort of look at the upper potential for these players, you would usually say that Mox is gonna be the favorite to win, right? So through that logic, any character that Mox feels very comfortable with, I would argue should be the favorite to win. Whereas the lower we go on the skill tier list, the more uncertainty there is gonna be, and the more opportunities for Spooky there will be to snipe the games. But I would imagine this goes in favor of Mox. Maybe. She will have to fight through the ice fields though. And that ice spike is mighty active, extremely active. It's like some absurd amount of active frames. And it can pose a problem for characters who have some mobility issues, such as Leo. I mean, Leo is a kind of like a unique character. Because of his step dash, he has and doesn't have mobility issues at the same time. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's good for short bursts of movement, but if you need to cover a lot of ground, he can't do it very fast. Good so far. Backdash from the round start, tagged by the Michael Sword variant, sends the heavy fireball, which prevents Spooky from playing for a little bit. Of course, when the ice floor is applied, the strikes out of there. A little bit of a Looney Tunes run. Oh no, what was that? The deflect shield actually not active there. Wait, did Mox just whip that, or was that just mistimed? Interesting little interaction here. Both players, a lot of meter going into this. Goes for a meaty berserker slash. Reflects the super, but too far to get the full animation here for Mox. Oh, that was really good. Step dashing before, I think even before the ice floor went active. So was able to sort of, to a certain extent, ignore the Looney Tunes effect, the sort of the debuff to your physics that you get from the ice floor initially, which kind of doesn't apply to Dizzy at all. Okay, Nago is the next one for Mox. Located in which tier? B tier, and Baiken for Spooky. Also in the B tier. if there's something to be said about the, like, there's been a couple of like really unbalanced picks, as like, I guess for the most part when Spooky was able to random into the jam cluster, but other than that, like a lot of these have been like relatively even. Like at least half of the randoms have been like around the same ballpark. So there is that. So now go biking. I've actually heard a lot about this matchup and how it's definitely not one of the favorite matchups for Nagoriyuki players to play. But how about on the new special move, the install? Well, it's just a tiny little bit of 5 heavy. The move is one of the primary moves, one of the primary normals from Nagoriyuki that sort of level up as you gain blood in your blood gauge. Oh, did Mox hit a button? No, she didn't, so gonna get a fully charged 5D here. Ah, drops it though. There's a little bit like, if I guess it's the best idea to, like, if you don't exactly know the combo structure for the character that you random into, going for like a 5D, fully charged 5D lounge for your punishes is probably a good idea. Because you can kinda derive what combo should be rather universal in there. But I mean, that's not always the case. With a little far slash canceling the super, they should break the wall and should... No, unless it's a sour spot. It's okay. Sour spot works as well. So if you're too far away from the opponent, the Wasareyuki isn't gonna lock opponent into the full animation, but it's just gonna launch them, and you can of course pick it up afterwards. This is the bite. It's okay, we still have around half of the blood bar left here. Tries to attach the Kamari. Mox is ready to read it though. Jumps out and then double. Oh, I think can't block here, right? Unless you go for a super? Is that the case? Can you cancel Fukio into a super? I imagine you can, right? Ooh, misses with the Yozan. Mox with the landing punish, gets a close slash counter hit, but can't quite route into the super. Speaking of the super, I think I saw Spooky do something though. She should break the wall and get the kill. Big waves, big comeback. Mox doing it slowly but surely, or maybe not even slowly. 3 straight wins here. Looking like Geo is gonna be one for Mox next. In the C tier. Passing the jam cluster, not quite. Is it Johnny? Is it Kai? It is gonna be Johnny, and I think Johnny was one of the okay characters for Spooky. In the B tier, yeah, not the best, but like okay-ish. So once again, working with around mid-tier characters here in the next bout. Anything can happen though. And that anything can be extremely meaningful. If Spooky somehow manages to put one more point in there, then it's like, I mean, the whole match is up to luck to a certain degree, but then it's like turbo up to good draws, and then you can like, you can no longer necessarily glitch out every single match. Ooh, we got that close slash anti-air still on board, huh? Muscle memory for Spooky, or maybe just got it on accident, was trying to far slash poke. Back throw, time to deal. OTG close slash into a deal, get the guard crush. This is, ooh, misses the TK, missed finer. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and Mox strikes back with a big counter hit combo. Breaks the wall, couldn't quite get the super, but that just means you have your unique install mode still to work with, which increases your damage as well as your defensive modifier. That's kind of cool little advantage for like rookie Geo players. If you are new to Guilty Gear Strive and don't know how to use your meter yet, then Geo might be an okay pick for you, because even if you don't know what to do with your attention, you still get a little bit of value out of it. With the 50 meter, you get like activation level 1, and then a full meter gets Geo the full whatchamacallit, full dog mode. She got the dog in her. Or maybe around her, depending on how you look at it. Oh, we do have the side switch, but doesn't quite manage to pick up the combo. As it says in the combo video notations. Look at the 2S. I think the 2S was buffed as well for Johnny. So that's going to be another nuisance for your sort of footsies characters to deal with. I mean, even if you are not a footsies character, maybe then it hurts you even more. Not having good options to challenge or whiff punish. Speaking of whiff punishing, it's one with an instant air dash. Hopping forward, Spooky puts an end to the hops. Uses 6k, misses, but with a fast recovery, able to still be there. Connects the jump D a little bit too high in the air. The burst has been baited. Mox still okay. We still have the last round. Both players basically out of their burst. Backdashing, starting, instant air dash into a decent little combo. Mox does know the routing. That's 1/3 of the opponent's life gone. With the axe kick to the other side, kind of like Jam before Jam. Deflect Chill works out as well. However, lands straight into the the far slash counter hit, the multi-hit from Geo. Very nice, keeps herself airborne in order to avoid the turn up. Here comes the dog! The down dog, the up dog, the underdog, and all of the dogs. With Giovanna is in there, punishes the landing, close slash B. We're moving ever so closer. At this point, Mox can probably breathe a little sigh of relief here, being so badly down in score. 0-5, making it 4-5 instead. What's next? Slayer. Pretty good tier for Mox in the B tier, if I recall correctly. Slayer, another pretty not a standard character by any means, but a very simple character. Sol is gonna be the pick for Spooky in the B tier. So going into this, Mox will have a little bit of an advantage. But two characters who definitely love to pedal that far slash. Definitely hit very hard, and definitely love to get close and personal. Sol a little bit more footsies oriented, whereas Slayer is a little bit more... what's a politically correct way of putting this? A little bit more funky shenanigan oriented, a little bit more neutral skip oriented, maybe.
Mankind. Duel 1.
One of those characters that love to lunge at the opponent is kind of the archetype that Slayer represents. Ooh, that is a close slash punish. The Bandit Revolvers got, I think, both of their frame data, or at least the first hit's frame data was nerfed quite a bit. So now, unless you can RC, quite punishable, and there is no variation in the, or like no RPS, basically, for either hits. Walks to the other side, nails it down with the Master's Hammer. Daddy says boom. Finds a punish there on the landing. Deflect Chill to push Slayer away. Minus on the Fafnir. No challenge though. Interesting. Was maybe expecting a wild DP there. Perchance. Speaking of the DP, here it comes. Of the S variant. Comes out of there. Pile bunker. Instant wall stick. It's kind of a unique feature of that move. Which also makes Slayer like relatively rookie friendly. If you don't know your combo routes, you could do with that faces through the opponent. Kind of cool. Cornered yourself, but it's okay. Mox is still in there. All of that meter is gone. Although Mox is building tension, considering that she just blew like 100 on the last horizon. Okay, just basic footsies. 5-5. This is where the fun begins. I mean, it's been fun all the way through, but this is where the this is it. This is it with a capital INT. Anji is the pick for Mox. And what is Spooky gonna get? Where is Anji though? Anji's very high. Okay, so Karmic Retaliation here. the first half of this set, Mox was getting all the bottom picks, but I mean, eventually they are going to be removed from the list, and we've been getting some pretty decent picks for Mox ever since then. And Gold Lewis is... well, Gold Lewis is pretty high up in the tier list of Spooky as well. So another high power level match.
I knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves...
Spooky, even leaving a comment there, Gold Lewis, I can work with that. I can work with that, for sure. Anji's another character that got changed quite a bit. And... I haven't fought a single Anji myself so far, so I can't quite recall all of the changes. There's a lot of changes to how his Fujin stuff works now. Oh yeah, he has the empowered Fujins, right? And I didn't quite gather how they work exactly. I think if you hold your Fujins, you get like a counter of empowered Fujin in the future or something like that. Dancing through the laser, however, it does have very limited amount of active frames. And here comes Spooky, hammering it down with the Behemoth Typhoons, the half circles. Get the right one. And, ooh, gets it too heavy, unfortunately. That was probably not what Spooky wanted, but was actually trying to input one of the half circles there. It's kind of the crux of this character that's, oh, nice. Prevents Anji from dashing in for a throw. It's probably what Mox was thinking about. Save me from the incoming laser and get the animation lock here. Sweeps the ground with the BRC Nagiha, and then the anti-air. Not this time though. Spooky breaks out of the corner. Third, burn it down of the round. Oh, and won't be able to get into plus frame territory. Mox getting the throw. What's a meter? What are we gonna do with it? We punish on the Behemoth Typhoon after the FD. Believes in the whip punish, can't quite get there to punish the deep red shield. But now Spooky is completely out of that burst. Mox still with her burst. 100 versus 50. Nagiha is throwable. Nice recognition of what is going on there during the blue RC slowdown. Go once again, dash forward, sees the opponent whiffing overhead, punishing, or rather, whiffing the jump in. So punishes on the landing, close slash. Ooh, that's a big one. Can we route into big damage? Hell, even a small routing like that is half of Mox's life. Security drone, level 3, still there. The drone is also like slightly nerfed from the previous iterations, but I mean, if you're close enough to the opponent, it still works like it used to. Deflect shield ends up whiffing, but also Mox ends up whiffing the core straight into the corner. Charges up to 5D. 5D. X-D, finish accent coming through. Slide sweeping the ground with Nagiha once again. 1-1. Important point here. Wait, did I remember? Is it? I think I didn't forget to put point into... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5-5, right? The content with the drone here. It's okay, tries to charge the 5D again. Going for the greedy cash out, but Mox having none of that. I would say that is all for naught. Have you seen Mox's reaction speed? Like she's been standing to block those tap blitzes, sorry, tap dusts for the duration of the set already. What does a fully charged 5D have that Mox didn't already overcome? 100 meter, tries to go for sex with a man. Ends up whiffing. Now 50 more, ready in the tank, and we are seeing not quite. Ventures a little bit too close, back throw. This could be a steal here for Spooky. 100 meter again, what can we do? Are we familiar? How do we spend? How do we learn? How do we get advantages? BRC can get the throw. BRC for the throw. Is it enough? Yes, indeed. Mox goes one game up. First time in the set when Mox is in the lead. It's been in the making. But hey, better late than never. And this is exactly the time to be making those big plays here as the set is drawing towards its close. Soul, perchance the last of Mox if she manages to get this one. Let's see what Spooky has to say about that. Sol is very low on Mox's list though, so Universe is trying to course correct. Oh, I love this pick. Spooky gets a Sin. A lore matchup here. Bounty Hunters assemble. Real in-lore bounty hunting here. The original bounty hunters. Sol and Sin. Let's see where Sin is for Spooky. It's in the B tier, so weather forecast here is that Spooky could take this, but not necessarily. It's a solid maybe. Solid maybe, baby. But even if Mox loses this on the bottom of the barrel character, there is still one more RNG chance at the end of this. Ooh, with the back throw. Cool thing about Sin is Sin is pretty basic, so if you can control Sin's special move mechanic, especially if you can do this, exactly what Spooky just did, 2 stamina burn into +6 guard crush and play strike throw. If you can do that, you're all, oh my goodness, anti-airing with the second hit of Sin's too heavy. Okie dokie. A little bit too early into the party. Is this gonna whiff as well? Oh no! Counter hit punish. 2K2D going into, unfortunately, the wrong special move. It's okay. We still get something. Stamina is low. Mox doing what Mox does and punishes on the landing frames once again. If there's something that Mox has been absolutely consistent with, it is that ability to punish your opponent, air dashing over you and landing right next to you. There we go. Fire slash, 550. No, it doesn't go. No, what gives? Is that not a true combo? Trying to play with the basics. The basics say, fuck you. Not on this character. Countered 5D, can't quite pick it up. Close slash, no hit confirms. It's okay in the heat of the moment when you're playing a bottom tier character. At least for your skill level. It's gonna be hard to pull it through. Can we get, oh, that's a big punish. Smaller people would have taken a throw there. Spooky goes for the close slash, saving the RTL, no longer inable. Sending the 100! Is that gonna beat it? Yes, indeed! Dunk him! Mox overcomes the -5 point disadvantage. 0-5 into 7-5. Now that is a counter sweep. Had a bunch of tough luck at the start of the set, but then being able to get the good characters, and at the very end, this is pretty impressive, the last match as well, which, let me show you one more time, which the Sol rated into D tier. Should have been like fairly bad pick, but just utilizing straight up fundamentals. On and off the court, straight fundamentals. No funny business. As an old wise man once said. Don't know who though. It's a mystery. Alright, we're moving on. We get more Kisk family here. Piloted by Raven, we got Unica versus Testament. This is a matchup we've played on Bounty Hunters quite a bit, and it is an interesting one at that. If you like fireballs, and if you like fundamentals, and if you like footsies and all that good stuff. And why wouldn't you? You play fighting games after all. You don't play these children's rhythm games to just skip neutral and set play, right? Right? You don't play these video games to single play, right? You play these to interact at neutrals. Those good old Street Fighter footsies. Press 2S. Press. What is it? Low short or whatever they call it in Street Fighter. That kind of gameplay, right? I'm of course jesting. There's a lot of different ways to go about playing these fighting games here. The fact of the matter is that Yappie on the Testament is a very, 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 very projectile-oriented character. And maybe even more so, they did nerf Testament's pressure quite a bit. So Crow is no longer producing plus frames. And I believe, was it the other fireball? Yeah, the heavy fireball is quite nerfed as well. Cannot produce plus frames with it either. I believe the charged version still can though, right? Maybe somebody can correct me in chat if they know more how the Testamentos work in this patch. But at least the non-charged version is quite minus. So that said, your game plan is much more projectile oriented. You can stack those curses though. So I guess your optimal way of looping the gameplay on Testament side of things is to get a Grave Reaper, get a Crow at neutral. Oh yeah, the Crow is much faster as well, right? So hitting with the Crow is a little bit easier at neutral. Then send another Grave Reaper and send another Crow. You can stack the curse applications upon one another, and then when you manage to get a strike in, they both pop at once, combining into a big I guess Red Roman Cancel like explosion, and gets you a really nice combo. On the other hand, if you have only one stain, one curse applied on the opponent, it gives you much smaller bounce this time around, or juggle. All in all, it's very interesting what they chose to do with this character, and I'm very interested to see like where does Testament land in the grand scheme of things. I would argue, like, instinct tells me that Testament is exactly where they were before, right? Not really, like, it's like kind of, I don't want to say it because I love this character. I love this character till death. One of my original fighting game mains back in the day when I was a young lass and I played XX. This was my pick. So I do have a lot of love for Testament, but I think the Strive devs have definitely they have had a limited amount of love for this character, I guess. Anyway, let's see how this goes. So BlackRaven on the Unica. We saw Raven playing Unica during the Unica release period. Since then has been playing more Baiken, but now in 2.0 is back on that Unica again. Probably a decent time to be back on her as well. I'm not sure how Baiken fares in this patch, but if you've been looking for different experiences, then at the precipice of the new era, I guess it's a good time to be switching mains and sort of shopping around a little bit and seeing what sticks in the new version of the game. There's no hurry. People are still trying to figure out the game anyway, so shop all you want. Starting with the 5 heavy. Not a big surprise, the big playmaker. Very hard to challenge for a lot of characters. I'm not even sure how Testament challenges that. 10 framer, and a lot of Testament's buttons are quite slow on startup. Coming in, Flow Slash won't be able to safe jab, unfortunately. I think could safe jab though. If you got the perfect meaty Flow Slash, I think the recovery is less than Calamity 1 for Testament. Nice, that's a big hit, not only breaking out of the corner, but getting nullifying the curse as well. RC for more pressure, overhead is blocked, and is safe as well for Raven. Oh, it's not very good situation for Testament to be pressuring. I wonder how much can Testament actually pressure? And if they want to pressure, how does they pressure? How do they pressure? Another cool feature about this matchup, so you've seen Raven this round throwing a lot of the beams. It is an integral part of this matchup and why Testament can't really throw fireballs at will like they would be able to in other matchups. On the other hand, Testament also has Arbiter Sign. It's basically an instant reach, instant full screen reach fireball to check Unica's fireballs. So the knocking order is Calamity, sorry, not Calamity one, the Arbiter Sign is the fastest tool, then the laser, and then Testament's other fireballs. But on the other hand, making the opponent block Arbiter Sign doesn't really lead into much. Puts you at minus frames at full screen and doesn't further your game plan. Also, I think I forgot to put this in whatchamacallit, the room settings rematch. There we go. Sorry about that. Flipping it back, Yappie being up 1 round.
Mankind knew that. Duel 1.
Right, back into it. Started with the 2S this time. I think a lot of Testament's fast moves, I think their 2S is 10-framer as well, so that's a little dangerous to try to trade into. Oh, teleporting straight in front of the red laser. There we go with the laser, and again with the guard crush. If we catch them with the slide, backdash out of the minus frames, instant air dash finds the mark. Yeah, this is gonna have to be way more mobile Testament play. But I mean, if you do get sucked, the cool thing is that Yappie is generally like very enthusiastic about possession, which is Testament's teleport. So because of the existence of the laser, you're probably a little bit more prone to teleporting into the marker instead of sending the crow. The timing is everything, of course. You would like preferably maybe put yourself airborne and then check if the Unica player is gonna throw plasma, and if they do, then teleport. But hopefully delaying the teleport enough so that you don't teleport into the beam, but into the recovery of it, because it does have a lot of like, it's one of the slowest to recover fireballs in the game to compensate for how good it is on like the flip side. The G5 heavy into lots of plus frames through the dash cancel. No, never mind, not doing it again. Actually sending the sledge this time. Catching them with the low. Drifting into straight into the bootsies. Would have to either DP or go for a 6P there. Raven puts 1 on the board as well. And so it is on. Starting with the 5 heavy, you can of course, the 5 heavy from Unica, if you whiff it, has a lot of recovery, so you can do the most basic standard thing in Guilty Gear Strive and micro walk back. And I think even if you don't move anywhere, it still whiffs, so it kind of assumes that you're pressing a button. The unfortunate thing for Testament is that Wild Assault doesn't exist anymore, so I'm not sure how Testament actually gonna convert those S-pokes. You just go like far slash into low Arbiter Sign, I think, is your reward, probably. Or something like far slash into Grave Reaper. Oh, yeah, the good old rock, nothing beats it. And so far, I think Yappie hasn't been able to beat that 5 heavy from Unica so far. And if he keeps working out, I think if I'm the Unica player, I will keep round starting with 5 heavy till the end of time, until the opponent counters me. Because the reward is so colossal. Through the wall we go, Raven now in the back foot, the 5 heavy with probably one of the largest amount of disjoint out of all of Testament's pokes. Definitely works in that mid-range as kind of like a counter poke. Go starting with the laser. Ooh, the delayed laser this time, so the instant air dash landing straight into it. Tried to go with the, I think Kara Greasever was what Raven wanted to do here, but didn't quite get the input out. It does increase the amount of reach that you have for your overhead, your 214K. Get the curse online. Goes under though. Big bets the farm. Gets the curse off, but the roll slides are very dangerous. Got away with it this time, but ultimately Yappie's still taking that one. Like we talked about earlier, the red sledge or the red slide is akin to an basically a DP on block. It's so minus that the opponent can just micro dash into a close slash starter. Ooh, nice dash jump. Comes down very fast with the Unica jump angle. Speaking of that jump angle, when you're jumping close range, you can get some really fast overheads in there. Curse has been applied. This time nullifies it with the gun. Send them fireballs. RC goes for the throw, but the opponent is still airborne, unfortunately. Dash cancel into plus frames, far slash into the overhead. The fast cancel into overhead, getting small hits in, but not like a super big heavy hitter. Counter hit anything so far. This should be an anti-air. Tries to anti with the close slash, ends up whiffing, but ends up in the right side, or right side from Raven's point of view. Caught them with the low 2S. That's one of the neatest features of her S buttons, that her 2S is actually a low. It is a legit low. Started with a DP there round start. Interesting. Clashing with Yappie's fireballs. Frame kill with the 5B into a safe jump. Overhead, let's block it. I think the overhead from Unica is one of the more reactable overheads in the game. A little bit of counter zoning here. The Grave Reapers are so difficult to get out unless you first land a hit as Testament. Slides in there, -4. Uses check with just a tap of the S button. RC still reaches, but pushes Raven very far away at full screen. Slides in there with the FRC into an overhead again. And that's a really cool place to play it as well. It doesn't have the best like natural confirms, but if your opponent is at a very low amount of life, then it's kind of like a why not? You're safe if it's blocked, and they do have to block it overhead. Taking them with the Arbiter sign, another one. Send the crow, and yep, the two primary ways how Raven has been trying to outplay, or rather counterplay the curse application is either go for a low profile slide or try to throw plasma. Which one this time? This time we're just footsing. Ooh, yeah, that's such a small launch there. Look at that. Still gets a 6 heavy though. Into send the girls. Oh, even after no was trying to taunt. What is this? Was probably expecting to get the wall break and the kill into a taunt, but oh woe is Yappie. It ended up turning horrible. The Nostrovia was supposed to connect and then get a cool like cutscene there at the end with the taunt, but oh no. It's kind of like, what are you standing up for? And Raven gave Yappie no remorse whatsoever, stealing the round there. Oh, there we go. The 6 heavy activation hitbox straight into DP. It's kind of cool, because like you could do that pre-patch as well. Just enter the 6 heavy stance, and if you see the opponent air dashing at you, just DP them, because it's like safe on air hit. But especially now that your 6 heavy has an activation hitbox. So if your 6 heavy ends up accidentally grazing them, then yeah, that's another way to get them out of the sky as well.
So instead, Duel 1.
Ooh, nice moves there. The neutral jump into a late, or like an apex jump air dash. Punish the 6 heavy from Testament on the way down. Yeah, the curse has been triggered, so immediately into a burst for Raven. -4, DP. Can we get a punish? Yep. Far slash. So not the biggest one. I mean, that's a decent amount of damage still for a bar slash. That is a counter hit, of course. Ooh, that's an interesting pause there. Maybe an aura pause, or maybe missing a Gatling and then like, oh shit, I didn't produce any buttons. Let me just press again. You trade for Yappie there on the heavy Grave Reaper, trying to find a hit. Now this is kind of like, oh, there we go. 2K sends them up, reeling into the sky with what's called Stain. As long as you're still pressuring in the close range distance, even a single application of Stain is still good. I think it's more like the far hits. The far hits are more difficult to confirm now unless you have 2 Stains applied at once. Oh, and for a 6 heavy, that's a very slow startup. So misses the punish here. Raven at a very low health finds a hit with the red sludge into FRC, saving meter, and plus frames in the dash cancel. Overhead sinks in, but no conversion unless you spend meter or get a counter hit. I think OTG is enough. Yappie hanging in there. Dead even 3-3. Very, very interesting kind of dynamic in this set. It's so strange to see like Testament just not being able to throw fireballs for free and forced to move around more. Oh, teleporting straight into the DP activation. Overhead Arbiter sinks in. Raven threatening with the 6 heavy activation. It's way easier to notice if your opponent goes into the Arbalest stance now with 6 heavy as well, because it has that little glow that is, I suppose, signifier that there is a hitbox. But also, like, it's a little bit easier to spot for the opponent as well. Tries to go for the Michael sword. It's a little slow. Now Yappie maybe coming back. DP out of the corner. Has very nice horizontal reach as well as vertical. Don't throw plasma at me. Low Arbiter tries to mix it up. Overhead Arbiter, and then the instant air dash burst is there. 50 meter is there for Raven as well. A little bit too slow to check the teleport. The general counterplay, if you're expecting a possession, you would camp yourself around the succubus marker, which is basically where the Testament player will resurface if they teleport, and then try to use one of your faster buttons, maybe like K buttons or maybe even just throwing on reaction. That works as well. Slide straight into the Michael sword. -4, back out of there, sends it again. Finds its mark. Overhead. Oh, that's punishable. Yeah, when you go for the Kara overhead and it basically puts you point blank, that looks to be punishable. Time for the girls to earn their keep. OTG luckily doesn't activate the curse. However, tragedy storms Yappie, for they have cornered themselves and the multi-hit. Oh, that was actually a chip hit. Chip kill there, yeah. Have to block against all of the hits of the sledge. I think there are 3 in total, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, nice 2S. That's footsies, baby. It is a fast slide, but just like Kai, it is counterable for sure. Ooh, a little bit too short. Maybe jump slash would have gotten there. Applying the curse, spending 50 meters to do so. Oh, there we go with the new applied, or new improved fast crow. Catching Raven from this cry. Crow and Raven. Best buddies. Jumps out of the laser and the jump heavy gets a counter hit. Doesn't quite finish the combo. Here comes Raven with the ground pressure. -4, chooses to not DP this time, but there is that RPS. Too much lounge for the counter hit 5 heavy, unfortunately. First world problems. Not used to comboing these. There we go again! With the point blank overhead, punished by the 2K. Yappie takes the lead again. It's way safer from these like /// sequences and 2// sequences where they kind of push Unica away from the opponent, so you're at a safe distance to play your like Kara overhead if you want to do that. But if you cancel from your like close range normals, yes, it can be tricky to block, but if they do block it, it's dangerous. Looking for the whiff punish, trying to go in with the sledge, doesn't quite get it. And the 6 heavy cleaves the skies. I was thinking between cleaves and reaps, so I was like, I guess we could say reaves as well. With the air fireballs, grounds Testament into the bar slash sequence. Gets a throw from the dash cancel, more plus frames. Cancels into the overhead, sinks in. We do have meter. Dangerous pressure prospects for Raven. Oh, I love the RPS. Raven was probably trying to position themselves around the sacrifice marker, but this time Yappie went for the strike. Faking teleport as well, not going into the marker. With the FRC combo. Doesn't get the deep enough dash. The 5 heavy ends up whiffing. Yeah, really good. Oh my goodness, look at that. Whiffing the anti-air, even despite the PRC or never mind. Wait, no, it was Raven who managed to get the hit there. I thought it was Yappie who came on top of that exchange. Starting with the close slash, very basic strike throw. Up fireball, quite vulnerable against the slide. Nice escape out of the corner, utilizing the possession counter hit 6 heavy. Into curse application, trying to go for the throw. Reaching for the cookie jar, that's mighty dangerous. Now you're eating counter hits. Very decent, respectable amount of damage that Raven has been able to get from the punish combo. And the meter build afterwards, after the soft knockdown on the wall break. Send it again? Yeah, why not? If you have a lot of juice to spend, why not? Why? And why should I? Why should I give up the ring? Why should I not slide in? Alright, aggressive burst. Trying to set up checkmate. Yappie is standing up, but not for the third one. Third time's the charm, as they say. Making it dead even again. Fighting tooth and nail for the opportunity to engage with the championship points first. Let's see who gets there. 5-6, really good place to be. Not quite 6-7, but we could have that as well. Straight into the laser. Yappie on top of the RPS jumps out of it, and now, oh, Raven goes for the throw, but there's not quite anybody home. 5P, tap them out of the sky. Very Strive-like stuff. Overhead. Into a low. You gotta be reacting to that. On the other hand, it's quite easy to react to the high arbiter sign is very slow, so you can definitely stand up and block it on reaction if you are waiting for it. But if you're looking too closely for it, then Testament might slide in pressure resets or other shenanigans. From the OTG 5 heavy, a little bit too far to get the Kara overhead. Kara overhead this time though. Finds the hit and then... Ooh, Yappie uses the jump K! The taco kick! The Testament's taco kick hitting from behind. Coming in real clutch and keeping Raven in the corner. Positive bonus, 50 meter in the tank, drifting forward. There's not much you can do about it unless you're willing to bet the farm on a DP post drift frames. And Yappie once again in the lead by just a little bit. If I recall correctly, Yappie has been yapping a little bit about maybe changing characters at some point, because needless to say, some of the Testament players have been a little estranged by the changes to their character. Ooh, gets there just before the laser goes off and triggers the curse. There we go. That should be a pop. Or wait, huh? Where did the pop happen? Was it with the? Huh? Maybe I'm blind. Taking the teleport then with a late air dash in. That's a red one! That's a punish! And a far/low arbiter is gonna be enough. Could also dash in for a close slash, but hey. The threat of the round start 5 heavy, utilizing it very efficiently. Raven dashes in for the S buttons and completes the combo, not successfully, but having little accidents. We still have the corner pressure. Taking the teleport again. Being able to... Oh! Teleporting straight into that throw. Raven has been getting better and better with the RPS as the set has progressed. Nice whip punish there, sends the red sledge. Lots of corner carry from it as well. Calamity 1 turns into Calamity none as Raven is engaging in brutal whip punish action. Or not even a whip punish, just a straight up punish. Sending the sledge, being a little daring here. I mean, that's the first time that that's happened, so like definitely not one of the moves that Yappie probably was looking for that time. Goes under, close slash. Unfortunately, not a good anti-air tool anymore due to the custom hitboxes. 6P works though. Into FRC with the BNB route. Yeah, canceling into the most damaging special move there, the Michael Sword variant, whatever it is called. Taking after her mother, for sure. The FRC, making sure that the pressure is still happening. OTG, dash cancel plus frames. Checks the low. Yappie, standing still, so gets an RPS win. The Heavy Reaper cleaving the ground, sending BlackRaven reeling. Oh, the laser out of the sky, though. Might as well. Especially if the opponent is positioned extremely far away from you, that means that there's not a whole lot of risk. Even if they're instant air dash at you, they're probably not gonna get there in time, or they just don't have enough momentum in their air dash. Even if you are one of the like floatier air dash characters. Yeah, exactly. Yappie didn't press anything there on the round start, so the 5 heavy ended up whiffing. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. It is an extremely good hitbox, very good startup, but it kind of relies on the opponent shoving themselves at you if you want to utilize that at round start. Ooh, the laser! The laser hits deceptively high, so it sometimes ends up working as an accidental anti-air, if you will. Ooh, with a nice combo, 5k, 6 heavy still works there. It's with the, I think with the K starters, like 2K, 2D starters, that you can't combo into the Up Reaper anymore and pick it up as you would in the past. But with the heavier starters, you can still do the standard loops normally. Both players going for the throw, but unfortunately, the player who is throwing the last gets the short end of the stick. Teleport, gets a 6 heavy hit there. Small victories. We can punish unless Raven chooses to spend the juice. Might as well. Do not get punished. Some plasma throwing action. Can throw from the air. Can throw from the ground. Just like the opponent. Oh, yeah, there was no reason for Yappie to just not wait for a little bit. Gets a burst. Hand of the Reaper. There's been a very predictable pattern to this set so far. It's usually like Yappie getting the point first, then Raven, and then Yappie again. But now Raven, to be able to overcome and win this set, will have to put 2 on the board twice in a row. Sending the air plasma. This time Yappie pressed the button, I think a little too early. If you go for like a really far range punish, you would have to air dash and then delay the button press as much as you can to extend the horizontal hitbox of your jump in move as much as possible. The button is definitely correct though. Jump slash is the one that you want to press. Yeah, that's a little bit of a knowledge check as well. If you get knocked down by the red laser, you can't avoid a meaty red laser, I reckon. So if you try to struggle out, if you try to hold up back, you will get tagged by the laser. But if you block it, if you block one laser on block, then it's your time to move out. Nice interception there for Raven. Jump slash, the most horizontal reach out of Unica's toolkit. In the air. Getting a big laser. That's a lot of... Wait, did they perchance buff Unica's blue laser damage? Has it always done that much? Very, very respectable amount of damage, actually. As the RC there still gets clipped by the jump heavy. A very good jump button from Yappie's Testament. And has the super here. Nostrovia. Raise your toasts for this wall break. We have a curse applied here as well. 6 heavy. Yep, that's gonna be a good punish. Not the biggest combo. So Raven will have an opportunity to still stale it back. That's with the overhead, but the red version is not enough. Send the laser. 6-6. All right. Predictable, speaking of the predictable outcome, but now is the big question. Who is gonna take it? Next one will be the last if we haven't had an unfortunate miscountage of rounds or games rather. But I believe we are on the same page as the players. Who is gonna take it? Is it Raven's Unica? The sub character, maybe to be main character. Who knows what the future holds for Raven? Who wants to keep playing the Shoto characters or not? Now Yappie is frame trapping into 5 heavy. That's very nice. Instead of going for the crow, which would be minus frames, put another extra normal in there. BP gets Raven out, but at what cost? We're at a very low life amount, and here comes the priority number 1, the low arbiter sign, checking them at neutral, dashing in, balls deep into the close slash. That's a big ass combo. Those are the kind of hits that they didn't nerf at all. They've been nerfing far range damage, but when you get in close and personal with a close slash, they are supposed to hurt a lot. That's kind of the DNA of Guilty Gear Strive. Now with a massive life advantage, collides with the projectile on the DP. Can Yappie run it back? If they can successfully, that should be the end of the set here. But Raven basically needs any hit at all. 5B into a throat, that's kind of cool. Teleport, yes, taps them with a 6B. Better press one of your faster buttons if you want to make it consistent. And now, the final Luigi. First hit goes to Yappie, triggers the curse. Raven is like, no ball break, please. We punish there with the sledge, very nice. Backdash out of there and then back in. The collision of the fireballs. I think the initial hurt box of the Reaper does... Oh no! No, Toad! No! Is that a misinput? Yappie, what are you standing up for? It's not over yet. Drive-by hit from the jump K. Raven at their last legs. Can they still do it? They need big hits. They need 5D with 50 meter, preferably. Breaks the throw. Oh my god, the FD is good. Oh my god, the laser anti-air. Are you kidding me? Raven's still alive. Finds a counter hit. It could be it. Yappie has a burst. Both players have, but the burst is so difficult to use for Raven. Counter blitz would be good here. Ah, but there it is. Escapes the corner. And Raven, despite his best efforts to run it back, it is not meant to be. The structure plays out. One for Yappie, one for Raven, all the way till the end. Wow, what a set there. Almost bringing it back. I'm sweating so much. After the taunt, I was like, no, not like this. Not like this. But, a little bit of unexpected, or like, I'm not sure if that's a misinput that Yappie was playing there, but ended up all okay in the end still. Now, another Sin matchup. We've got ZoKHiZ on the Potemkin with the improved 6 heavy, as it is shown in ZoKHiZ's player card as well, and the free comment. It is quite fitting because this button 6 heavy is surprisingly good at this matchup. This matchup used to be very Sin-sided in my opinion. There are a lot of opinions out there, but I'm of the stellar opinion that, or of a stern opinion, that even at the peak of Potemkin's prime, this was a doable. This was a Sin advantage matchup. But now it's very interesting because, like, on a flip side, Potemkin has received a lot of nerfs but I would argue personally, as a thinking Sin player fixes my glasses, that this is actually maybe not Sin favorite anymore. Might be even, I'm not sure, but fact of the matter is this feels way better for Potemkin than in the past. I think much because the things that Potemkin wanted to do previously, like the strong things that Potemkin could do, were actually not related to the matchup at all. Like, okay, sure, if Potemkin gets in and you have Armored Buster and you have all the garbage, yeah, it's strong. But that's not how the matchup is played majority of the time, I think. Generally Sin players want to play this matchup at outside of like 5 heavy range from Potemkin, and especially outside of 6 heavy range, but now it's like, for one, Potemkin walks forward much faster. You wouldn't think it's a big deal, but it is. It absolutely is. It like the micro amount of adjustment that you can do and like the positions you can play yourself into as Potemkin before using buttons such as maybe the new 6 heavy that takes you forward just a little bit. Like, it allows Potemkin to be strategically in all the right positions to actually use those heavy buttons effectively now. So it's a very delicate kind of game of tug and war, like tug of war. That's the thing, tug of war. But it's so much more difficult for Sin to be outside of Potemkin's active range now. And of course, because Sin lost the huge ass rewards from just hitting a raw beak driver, or even just a far slash in the beak driver, the damage is much lower than in the past. All of those things combined, it's much more, it's way harder to make the ends meet for Sin now. Like, sure, you're probably more likely to land a hit than Potemkin, but if your reward is just gonna be like beak 1-2 food, and that's not too, like, that's not a lot on a high defensive modifier character like Potemkin. So it's a very, like, this is one of the matchups that I'm super interested to see how it ends up panning out. Like, is it still Sin advantage? Is it even, or something completely different? We're just gonna have to see and figure out the patch a little bit more. Now, fact of the matter is here that ZoKHiZ is definitely the senior player. Has been playing these children's rhythm games for a couple of decades or more. Whereas Sith is a little bit more new to the hustle. But what better opportunity for the old and the new to meet than in the equalizing battleground that is Guilty Gear Strive. The game that didn't exactly allow the old, the sort of old veterans of the franchise to take all of their fundamentals into the new game. Sure, some amount of the Guilty Gear fundamentals are still there, but they're with a twist. It's like, at least in my opinion, Guilty Gear Strive is a little bit more like a synthesis between Street Fighter and old Air Dashers, right? It is still an Air Dasher, but it's played much more slow, much more sort of closer distance, much more like intimate footsies. And to begin with, the design philosophy of Strive has been like they wanted to make a game that doesn't necessarily like punish newcomers to the franchise. Like, what's a good way to put this? It's like if you tweak certain things, like It's been kind of like the sort of trajectory of new fighting games as of recent, like beat Street Fighter, beat Tekken. You've like equalized the playing ground where it's much less about the fundamentals that like super difficult to execute fundamentals that could just absolutely dominate the opponent. It's like a little bit more simplified RPS, simplified footsies, so that the guy who is like absolutely cracked at, for example, whiff punishing, doesn't just absolutely ridicule the opponent because they're just that good at it. It's kind of like my vision of how this game's design philosophy panned out. And like it's not for better or worse. It's just that is the kind of direction that this franchise take. And arguably, if you look at the numbers, Guilty Gear Strive brought a shit ton of new players to not only fighting games but also to the Guilty Gear franchise. So there is like something to be said about those design choices, whether you like them or not. It looks like Civ's machine is taking a nosedive here. But it's okay. It's okay. What else? Like Potemkin has lost a lot of stuff. No longer has the armor for Buster. Can be broken out of armor, especially the Hammerfall with lows. Albeit Sin doesn't have like a lot of like super far-reaching lows. The most prominent buttons that you could press is his like 2D, I guess 2K as well, if you're trying to react to the incoming Hammerfall. If the Hammerfall is fired from too far away, then yes, maybe 2K will be able to get there in time. But doesn't have a standard like far-reaching low 2S or anything that you could just swing out. Alright, let's see how it goes. Going straight into those the footsie distance. Oh, the very delay there. And a delay on the too heavy as well. These are the kind of stuff. These are the kind of things that matter now in the new generation of Guilty Gear Strive. These are the building blocks that you have to hone. The little things. It's the little things, or like the big. Like the big things that end up being little things. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, here's the jump in with ZoKHiZ. The jump slash from Potemkin, really deep hitting hitbox, I think, historically, which has always allowed this kind of re-jump pressure for Potemkin that is kind of hard to contest on reaction. Yeah, look at that. Potemkin comes down really fast, especially with the jump slash. Yeah, exactly this kind of thing. And you're gonna be seeing this from ZoKHiZ quite a bit. It has been a prominent component of Potemkin's game plan in the past, and it is so much, it is as much in Strive as well. Now with the pressure, finds a 6 heavy hit. Baits the burst. Civ is on the same layer though. It's gonna remain to be seen if we get to actually utilize that burst. Would love to take it to the next round if possible. Tap the 5D. That could be a kill. Do we have the route? Yes, we do. Food into 6 heavy, but Potemkin, high guts, high defense. Mega Feast, PRC. Are you kidding me? Civ picking up the right option there. Cold as ice. And survives the fight for the, ooh, there we go, far slash, accidental anti-air, or maybe premeditated, who knows? But anti-air nonetheless. The 2 stamina burner, chooses not burn the other one. Clean air throw. Eats as well. To the other side, gets the close slash. Oh, that's gonna be a big combo for Civ. Ooh, goes to the new path as well. That's so cool. Full screen corner carry. So what Civ did there is didn't go for DP1, DP2, went for DP1 into 6-6 and then 2k DP again. So that's the kind of way to fit 2 DPs and still juggle in the modern Sin routes. Wow. Okay, dokay. First for Civ. And this, I think Civ has played quite a few different characters this patch already, which is a very Civ-like feature for sure. She cycles between a lot of different characters. At the moment, it seems like the Sin is gonna be the pick, at least for now, but projecting already after this set might take other trajectories as well.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Who goes with the whip punish and gets it? The downside is that I think not only were the confirmed paths nerfed, I think I feel like there's almost like a shadow nerf of sorts. That Sin's Spar/Beak Driver does not really connect as well in this matchup anymore. I'm not sure which characters changes those would be. Goes for the 6k, but ZoKHiZ not ready to take it. FRC into guard pressure, waits for the jump out, too heavy to drag them back onto the ground, and a big iron hug is gonna take the round for Zok. Hops over, unfortunately has to respect their DP, or sorry, counter hit on the Elk 2. One downside, one big nerf for sure is that there we go with a big driver, Footsies mannen. Can we get the super? Yes indeed, and a clean hit, of course. Sim looking really clean today. Alright. A jab out of the delayed big driver here by ZoKHiZ. Now the corner pressure, what can we do? Zok is really close to that 100 meter. The big driver unfortunately does not connect from the 6p, a little bit too high, a little bit too far. Since 6p, a little bit too good for his own good. Gold burst, safe on block. Frame chops into the hoop too, and then the close/counter hit. Who tried to start with, I think that was a raw gazelle step. Maybe trying to hunt for a round start backdash. Kind of forced the burst here. The 6 heavy counter hit in the corner is basically a guaranteed death. Counter hit again. ZoKHiZ trying to reach for maybe reversal throws, unsure. There really aren't a ton of good reversal options for a Potemkin anymore. Tried to backdash, getting caught by the Elk Hunt. Elk Hunt really great at hunting backdashes. A little bit on the less damaging side, the lowest altitude air throw for style points. ZoKHiZ unleashing the gold burst, but do we get to use it? If Sin finds a hit here, spend the 2 stamina. ZoKHiZ brace the throw, probably with the fuzzy one. Oh no, didn't have the stamina! Oh, but it's still okay. Good recognition there by ZoKHiZ that the stamina-less overhead is punishable even on hit. Both Elk Hunt and Hoof Stomp -5 on normal hit. I think that, wait, was that might have been a counter hit though. On counter hit it would be, I think, +3 for Sin. With the food, oh, with the shimmy, the new 6 heavy, waiting for the burst. ZoKHiZ not quite ready to burst yet though. Civ keeping it in the corner, keeping it between the wall and me. Just between wall and me, you're gonna take some damage. Back to the footsies, fixing the mistake. That was a great choice once again. Civ making ridiculously good choices here. I think there was a punish on landing frames as well there. OTG, not quite enough, and then into Hoof Stomp, just in case ZoKHiZ was trying to go for a buster or a throw. Starting with, yeah, that's only +3. No combo out of it, unfortunately. You generally, to combo out of your special moves this patch, in a really significant way, you would have to spend 50 meters. So RC is not only recommended, but almost necessary. DP out of the pressure. RC trying to go for a shimmy. ZoKHiZ not buying it, reaching for the big low 2D. 5 heavy finds a hit. Oh, that's a counter hit. I think Sim probably not in the not in the business to burst that time anymore. And I think the way ZoKHiZ played that, if you don't poke in between the super hits, then there is no bursting out, right? I think what was the rationale here. With food, kickstart the stamina recovery, hard knockdown, everything looking so far so good for Civ. Reaching for the 6k from the far distance is pretty good as well, because like we were playing Nagoriyuki versus Sin earlier, and Revill was getting thrown out of those extended throw range even on hard knockdown wall break. So if you don't wanna like interact with any of that, you could choose to space yourself out with a 6k. That way, like, no matter what Potemkin is gonna do, even if they backdash, they're really prone to getting caught by it. The 6k just reaches really, really far for Sin. Speaking of the 6k, ooh, tried to go for a shimmy! Or rather, that was a situation that can be punished. Special one into Elkan, or sorry, into Gazelle, into backdash. We'll place it again. Into 6k this time. Sees the armor move coming in and throws. I'm really impressed by Civ's sort of just universal Potemkin matchup knowledge. Into, once again, caught them, the Elk, and again! The hoof stomp 1-2 only produces a hard knockdown and then goes for it again. I think that was the last one without stamina as well. So if ZoKHiZ was to block it, that was gonna be some punishment. But it's really hard to justify just sitting still when your life bar is at 0, or rather 1. Once again with the dash dash blocks. Probably very good in this matchup as well, because those heavy buttons on block are not the best, especially like 6 heavy. I don't think Potemkin can really like make that a favorable interaction. Immediate burst once the ZoKHiZ in the corner. ZoKHiZ kind of has to think about the burst at the very last moment. 100 min to tank. Civ engages with the Patachu strategy. This has been what the Grandmaster of Sin has been doing against all of the top EU Potemkin players. Don't grounded anti-air. Air to air instead. The rationale is that Potemkin has so many ways of RPSing you if you're grounded. But if you go for the jump K, even if they block, it's okay. You're gonna land into plus frames. And if they choose to go for a jump D, if they choose to go for like whatever, you're probably gonna get there, like your jump K is gonna get there before their stuff activates. So this is basically textbook Sin Potemkin. I think this is better Sin Potemkin that I could play myself.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, nice, again, gets there just before the 6 heavy goes online. So one of the selling points of 6 heavy for a Potemkin is that the hurt box is very retracted on the on the startup. So it's really good at sort of outfootsing and baiting the opponent's pokes. But if you're close enough, like Civ was there, you can of course poke it because it's very slow to start up. So that kind of dictates, like, if you want to play that kind of strategy. Oh no, whips with the deep. Wait! Because it landed as the hit, Civ could do the follow-up, which is also fully invulnerable. What the hap is fucking? Stagger 2k and the delayed Big Triber once again gets a hit. If the Big Triber first hit counter hits, it triggers a stagger, so you can combo into a throw. But it's still like one of those things that Sin players are still having difficulties hit confirming into, because it's kind of new stuff. Okay, hard calls out the close slash stagger pressure, goes for a throw, and now into killing Buster. It's probably just about time for ZoKHiZ to put himself on the board, so this would be probably the time that we go online. Doesn't quite manage to recover, react. Oh, it's a clean close slash on the airborne Potemkin. Very nice conversion. Not quite the wall break here. Again, just in time before the... Wait, it does the... I think the slide head no longer goes low profile anyway. Okay, so this interaction, the close slash 6K does have a 5-frame gap, which cannot be contested by anybody else but Potemkin, because he has a 5-frame throw. He has a 5-frame throw and throws beat strikes on the same frame. There we go. The king is on board.
Potemkin wins.
The monarch of big bodies. And I think we're gonna go for a short intermission here. Save checking that the peripherals are working as intended and correctly. AKA lowering the settings. But yeah, so far I've been actually thinking about this matchup, and maybe it's like, maybe in the current patch you actually need to play a closer distance as Sin compared to previous patch. So previous patch it was probably GTO to stay completely outside of Potemkin's range, but now this patch, because Potemkin walks faster and because 6 heavy is such a cracked button and it's so hard to make the like Potemkin player whiff, but also because it's so hard to actually get a successful whiff punish, because like far slash into big just tends to not combo and stuff like that. Maybe it's actually better to venture a little closer and take a risk. Take a little risk. Live a little. And don't just like pussy out like I would. Right, the armor powering through the S buttons. Good DP there. Oh, drifting backwards. Still, I think when you drift upwards or backwards, you still get like a wide big bounce there on the RC. It's actually like very, like, it makes a lot of difference depending on where you drift on your RCs. Oh, that's, wait, huh? Was that a red RC? ZoKHiZ just went over the shockwave completely. That's an interaction I've never seen before. Thank you Guilty Gear for being such an awesome fighting game. Ziv trying to break out of the corner, but it's so hard against the iron wall of a jumping jump slash Potemkin. Going under, counter hit, spent the 2 stamina in the corner now. I think this is also like maybe something that I might be misplaying, and it's not actually good idea to give away momentum if you get like a 1-2 from like Elk 1, Elk 2 or Beak 1, Beak 2. Maybe you just want to go in instead of eating in those situations. Life situation equalized, but yo, look at the range! Look at the range of the hungry boy! The delayed Beak 1, Beak 2 back in there, +6, yes indeed. Shimmying there, man, go! Goes for the far slash, it's too slow, gets counter hit by the 6 heavy anyway. And now Civ looking for one more hit, but the same could be said for ZoKHiZ. Burst comes out, ZoKHiZ has his. Could still contest here, but I think it's an okay RPS to take it to, or an okay choice to take it to the next round as well. Now, you have an advantage starting the round with full burst, whereas Civ has none. Backing out of there. Far slash. One of the oh, beat a jump out, beat a DP, the up crab, the heat knuckle immediately breaking the wall and finding its mark. Look at that! The 6 heavy pulls the hurt box back a little bit, even though it kind of looks like Potemkin is extending forward. It is actually not so. The 5P from Civ ends up completely airballing into it. That was a very close distance 6 heavy as well. Maybe ZoKHiZ actually like thinking about the prospect of a backdash there. There we go, going for the whiff punish. It's one thing to know, like one thing to say about 6 heavy for Potemkin. It's it should be a free whiff punish on reaction. Like, no matter what you do, even if you're a little late, like, if you can't whiff punish it, then you need to go back to you need to go back to lab and figure it out, because like that is a cardinal sin. That is a mortal sin, not being able to whiff punish the 6 heavy from Potemkin. Especially if you're holding a good range like this. Exactly, look at this range that Civ is holding here. Trying to make ZoKHiZ make a mistake. But look at that, the run speed, the not even run speed, the walk speed. If Sin walks backwards and Potemkin walks forwards, you can't keep the status quo anymore. That's what I was saying. That's why I think the situation has changed so much in this matchup. Like, you can't keep back walking away for free. You would have to backdash to fix the position now. To put yourself away from Potemkin's reach. Tries to go for the jump K, but this time ZoKHiZ very early on the jump slash. Flip positions. Real estate favoring ZoK here. The 6 heavy hammer bolt breaks. I think the threat is, so the 6 heavy hammer bolt break is minus, right? I think. But the threat is that ZoKHiZ could actually cancel the 6 heavy into something like a flick to frame trap you. FRC forcing the Gara crush. And the very delayed 2 heavy again. ZoKHiZ is so good with that. Far slash, not doing anything against the impending Gigantor. Is it the classic thing that we say in Finland? We give them the reel. We give a little bit of that fishing reel, making the fish think that they are safe and they're fine. But then we tug and we pull the fish in. I think after giving it the full sense of security, is that what's happening here? Let's see if Civ can actually break this 3 straight wins from ZoKHiZ. Oh, there we go. 6 heavy in its element. With punishing Beat Driver, staying out of touch. Or rather, out of reach. Never out of touch, though. Block these mix-ups. Option is low. As if actually manages to clear it. And a counter hit confirm as well. Beautiful stuff. I think that's the first counter hit special 2 conversion that I've seen in this patch from any Sin player, other than myself, of course. Starting with the far slash into that good old guard crush action. Goes into a low airtight with the 2K here. Oh, that can be picked up. Yes, indeed, and does so. Considering that Civ plays so many different characters, a lot of the fundamentals of Sin and the combo routes and everything are just seem to be in the pocket. Have to spend 1 stamina here. Oh wait, huh? When did that connect? I'm pretty sure that's at least +6, right? Overhead, not quite enough. Tries to. I think that was a buster attempt again, but Civ spacing those hoof stumps very far away. Dogging into the corner. How was Civ able to get a far slash in there? The DP works out. No longer the absolute beast at beating DPs that it used to be in the past. It's Garuda. However, that time, it was a perfectly spaced Garuda, which is gonna get the kill for ZoKHiZ, right? Heavenly Potemkin Buster is surely gonna put ZoKHiZ in 4 points each. All right, getting interesting. Getting interesting. Despite Civ playing it quite perfectly, honestly, I think it's in like how ZoKHiZ manages to take these rounds is like when ZoK gets the pressure going like this. When Civ is in the corner, that's usually when the shark is the most dangerous. There's the jump K again. No pickup this time, but it's okay. Putting the opponent in the corner, coming down with the cheeks. The classic jump D from Potemkin repertoire. That's one of the reasons why we tell you to rather go air to air rather than ground to air. This time, Can we get a... Jump K into, or rather out of the armor. ZoKHiZ going in with the fancy Gigantor combos. Knows them like the back of his pockets. Extending, forcing the wall break. I think, is it a... No way it's a kill. Yeah, not quite. But good attempt. The life advantage is massive. Is anybody home? Wait, the stream is exploding. Wait. Why is it exploding? Why are we dropping frames? Why is my thingamajig dying? Okay, my wife is not doing anything connection intensive either. Is this just like a Twitch side problem? Because like for me, like everything is loading perfectly, and connection test says that we're in business. Maybe this is a Twitch server issue. Okay, back to the game. I think we didn't lost any footage there. But ZoKHiZ is gonna take this round and put himself in the leading position for the first time in the set. I'm so bummed out if it's like a Twitch server issue again. I dropped like, what, 18% of frames there? I don't really know what to do about it either. Is there something I can optimize on my side? Sorry, I'm gonna try my best to troubleshoot this in the background. Because like if the stream is lagging, then like whatever I say doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't. It's not showing any jitter on my side either. So it's like I have to conclude that it's just Twitch fucking up. Huh. Yep. I just like every service is showing that. Like, my connection to the internet is perfect, but my connection to Twitch is not. We could try lowering the bit rate. Can you do it while you're on air? Here we go. Let's lower the bit rate. by like a couple of thousand. Let's try that. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Okay, while all of that is transpiring, ZoKHiZ, I think, managed to put himself in 6 points. Well, that should have decreased the quality of the stream quite a bit, but hopefully that's gonna work out a little bit better now. Let me know if there's still a problem. It's looking good on my end now, and doesn't seem to be dropping frames, but I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, anyway, ZoKHiZ from basically 0-4 position has been making a comeback. 6-4 now, and doesn't seem to be stopping whatsoever. Set point position, in fact. Old man ZoK turning it all around. Let's see what Civ can do here. The strategy, everything has been going so well, at least up until it didn't. Good whip punish. Not opting to take the Kara Super wall break just yet, but next hit could potentially be it. There we go, into barrel. ZoKHiZ does have resources to play with here. Full burst and more than 50 meter. Are we gonna burst? Are we gonna save? We are gonna burst. So with that 75 in the tank, ZoKHiZ could unleash some Gigantor shenanigans for instance. However, Civ dashes in there, reads the armor move. It makes sense. When you have that much armor, you would want to hammerfall into RC, into guard crush, into GG, shake my hand. But Civ not letting that happen and intercepts with the jump K in the sky. This is exactly the same gameplay that I was hoping for. And now, daring enough to dash in, eats close slash meaty. What is ZoK gonna do? Doesn't throw on the shimmy at least. 1 hit, 2 hits, counter hits. The burst doesn't come online. So Civ in it still to win it. Needs 2 though, so it's not gonna be easy. But the momentum for now has been broken, and there is still light at the end of the tunnel. It was looking mighty dire for a while. Right there on the far slashes. Civ engages with the 6B, goes for a shimmy. ZoKHiZ instead opting to try to break the throw or slash the situation with a 5B, which is kind of cool. Like that's exactly what is gonna be. So are you kidding me? Throwing the forward Mega Fist out of the sky. Civ playing out of her mind. Drifting forward, let's see if ZoK bites. Blocks the 20 frame overhead. We are old, but we're not quite ready. There we go again. Doesn't bite in the shimmy or on the shimmy. Instead, strikes. Exactly the kind of option that you want to play. Tries to jump out. That's a counter hit though. ZoKHiZ must have pressed the far slash or jump slash or something. Now with the jump in, tries to reset into Garuda. Civ says no. Nah, we can put a button in between there. Trying to vary those footsies buttons as much as possible. 2S gets stuffed by Sin far slash once again. 6 heavy in the corner. This could be bad. Drops the combo, or maybe happy little accident, as one of the sages of our time once said. Just a happy little accident. Save, sorry, not save point. Set point. ZoKHiZ. Starting with the 2K 2D. Work with the basics. Oh, missing with the ender though. So now Civ gets to show what's what. 1 stamina conversion. Can't break the wall here with the Tyrant Barrel. Half of your life gone. That's a huge amount of damage. That's kind of like the the maximum sin kiss damage that you can still do. That's a punish. Ooh, I wonder if ZoKHiZ noticed. There was no stamina on Civ's bar. And no... Oh, gets thrown out of the too heavy. Is it a kill? We can super. Tries to bait the super or the burst. Gold burst actually lands. The throw break, but of course you would. You've played Exert before. Able to get the DP. What are we gonna throw? Both players missing the throw. One more hit. ZoKHiZ looking for one more to end it. Far slash is the button. The classic poke him with the thingy. Great set. Civ starting with so much momentum. ZoKHiZ coming back, and then at the very last moment, Civ still showing that there's life left still in this Sin player. Makes it really interesting. It's gonna be, in the end, old man ZoK taking it though, but oh man, was it close. Honest footsies prevail. I'm scared of the Potemkin 6 heavy. That is a dreadful change. Like, combined with the walk forward move speed. Don't come and tell me that this version of Potemkin is not cracked. I mean, a lot of the garbage stuff from last patch is gone, but this version of Potemkin has fundamentals. And that's what's scaring me. Footsies and fundamentals. Those are the scary things in fighting games. Okie dokie. Moving on to the last set of the evening, we've got Dr.Holiday coming back from a hiatus. At least it's been a while since the last Bounty Hunters, if memory serves correctly. Back on Johnny, and the opponent today is Detada. I wonder if I dare to, because I bumped the bitrate down quite a bit. I wonder if we could bump it up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Stream has been very stable since. How's the quality? So I lowered my bitrate from 6K to 4K. So is it like noticeably worse quality, or is there like, is it not visible at all? Not really? Okay. Well, might as well not touch it then. And be happy with what we have here. Background slightly pixelated? Yeah, it's kind of to be expected. Okay, we have players ready to go. One more Unica. This has been quite the Unica evening. 3 Unica matchups, 2 Sin matchups. The Kisk family is doing good, or are they? Can Detada bring it home? Why is this like? Why can't I see anybody's name here? Like, what is going on here? What the hap is fucking? Anyway, Guilty Gear Strive. When was the last time we actually had Dr.Holiday here? It's like half a year ago, at the end of last year, or no, never mind. Or wait, yeah, at the very end of last year, December. So it's been a while. It's been a while. Let's see what's what. So honest footsies one way or another. Unica bringing the Shoto to the mix. We've seen Detada on the Unica before, and it has been honestly quite impressive. Oh, does this go through? Yes, indeed. The Joker trick is a little bit faster than the startup of the laser. The 2P actually manages to trigger the turn up still for a little bit extra. Out of there, out of the range of the overhead. Nice, the movement, baiting Holiday to come in, and then with an extra double jump, switches positions, just like so, from the plus frames into 5 heavy counter hits. We're converting, and now both players have the drift available. Yeah, and the counter drift, and have to go for it unless you just want to be in a bad situation. It does give me like it does still give me some frame drops showing my OBS, so it's definitely a server issue probably, but we'll do what we can with the rest of it. Very good space. It goes for a 5 heavy. Oh my goodness! Look at the damage. Look at the damage, baby. Still got the big guns. Can block here for sure, and then that's a counter hit recovery, and that's everything that Detada could ever dream of. That was a combo drop though, was probably, I think, worried about Dr.Holiday's burst. Ooh, that's not enough. Oh, never mind, that is enough. Knock him down with the Greed Sever, and then OTG them with the good old 5 heavy slam to the ground.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Starting the beam. Opting to go for the Greed Sever. Oh, again, how does Detada find all of these counter hits? Basically pressing 5 heavy in all the right positions, but I mean, it's like, why wouldn't you press? It is a 10 frame move. So it's like, it's really hard to get anything better unless you go into your 5k or close slash range. Like, it's on par for startup for a lot of 2Ds. And it reaches way further as well with a nice little combo. Can't quite break it with the super. Was on the positive bonus, but not quite on the 50 marker. With that 2 heavy, sorry, the 2S improved footsies. What was improved of the 2S? Was it the range that they increased, or? Okay, 6 heavy, or that's a 5 heavy, right? 5 heavy anti-air. We take those. I mean, we're gonna be poking from this distance anyway, so if the opponent air dashes into it like a fool, we take those. Oh, the counter throw! I think Holiday was the one who was supposed to go for the throw. Reset the bar slash sequence into the guard crush. And another counter hit, and since the oh, misses it though. Holiday's out of there. Spending resources in order to buy some real estate. Flips the positions, turn up is triggered. Yes, smart stuff. If you block the whatchamacallit, the Vault deal, not quite plus frames unless you spend meter on it so smartly. Detada mashing out of there. Yep, that's the RC though. When the Vault deal is combined with the PRC, that's when you gotta respect it. That's when it's very dangerous. That's when you are in the mix with DJ Johnny, as they say.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
This time backdashing out of the 6 heavy. Don't get caught by that. Don't get counter hit by that. Whatever you do. Detada turns it around with a well-placed DP. 6P, not quite there. Unfortunately, Unica has taken after her father rather than her brother in terms of how her 6P functions. So it's quite tiny. Potent but tiny. Right, with the extra deal. Mistfinder dash in there, trying to trigger it. Can't trigger it here. Wait, did it? Huh? Did it expire? Or what? Trying to align yourself in the air, but the air fireball, it like, even if the trajectory is quite downwards, like a 45-degree angle, it's still like surprisingly hard to challenge because it has a little bit of like, it places, it like displaces the fireball very in front of you. So unless you dash under, it's like surprisingly hard to do anything against. But on the other hand, it's not like super threatening either. Ooh, wait, did that set up a meaty blue slide here to make it plus? It kind of looked like that, because seemed like that was able to pick up pressure afterwards. That is definitely something that you can do if you can set up a really meaty slide, then Yeah, you can certainly be plus. Hunting for the wall stick, doesn't quite happen yet. OTG into a safe jump, I believe. So could have only tried to deflect shield there.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, interesting. Starting with an instant air dash. Air throw out of the sky. Hugo recovers in time, so Holiday won't be able to pull off a punish that time. Whiffs with a 5 heavy. Yep, gets whiff punished, but also no follow through from the Holiday. Slam them out of the ground with a horizontal air Mistfire. His pressure working out mighty good. Gets up. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a reversal super and should be enough damage as well. For Detada was quite low health. Jeremy. Ooh, cut them off of what? Maybe that was a round start Great Sever? A threat to be dealt, to be triggered. Oh, they ended up buying it. It's like, okay, you're airborne in a position where Mistfire would take a little bit of time to activate, so let me just 5 heavy you out of the sky. Ooh, great backdash. Completely bamboozles the 6 frames of actives from Detada. Sees this 5k at very early stage. There's the 5 heavy again. Big combo damage. Switches sides. Sets up the plus frames. However, from that distance, very good choice from Holiday to just backdash out of it. Deflect shield doesn't. It does push Unica back, but it's not enough. It's often like I noticed that from like jump-in strings, deflect shield doesn't necessarily do as much as against like grounded strings. So like what I've observed about deflect shield for the past like patcher, like for the past season, it seems like you probably want to use it a little bit more against grounded than airborne. I mean, of course, sometimes you don't have a choice when you're in a position where you just get checkmated if you block a jump in, so... I mean, it still does something. Misses with the ball beam. There we go, this time the deflect shield actually pushes the opponent away a decent amount. And look at the tip range footsies from the Mistfire. Jumpy. Fastest activation of the air-to-airs. Tried to press a button, got caught. And a good 6p max cash out as well. This is a surprisingly damaging route. So 6p into Michael Sword RC, those routes tend to do a lot of damage for Unica. Drift forward. Does he see it? I'm not sure if he did, but sure looked like he was gonna press a button. And the Joker trick clips Detada and gives Holiday a Joker card, or whatchamacallit, a free card to equalize the situation. Insulation? Inhibituation? Oh, the Mistfire not quite far enough, I guess. Or maybe a little late, perhaps. OTG 5 heavy into the dash cancel stuff. Doesn't quite get the anti-air out. Goes under the Mistfire, though. The Kara DP keeping Unica as close to the target as possible. Still ends up whiffing it in the end. It's okay. Scrape him off the wall. Good drift here. Ooh, I love that. Against the one of the nastiest 9-frame far slashes in the game. The counterplay indeed, if you know it's coming. 6p does the job, even if your 6p is a little tiny. It's not the size, it's how you use it, okay? Ooh, no. No response from the opponent. Waiting for something, waiting for sign. The fuzzy throw, though, breaking the throw. Oh my god, Detada is so patient. Look at that, just not responding at all. And then, the moment that Holiday commits to coming in, he just dash jumps forward a couple of times and we're out of there. Has been able to work themselves into the corner. Overhead hits, OTG into dash cancel again. There's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff that is maybe hard to keep up if you're not up to date about what Unica can do. And even if you are, sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's kind of hard to see like what layer of the RPS are we on.
Let's rock.
So like, Unica is definitely one of those characters who can run a lot of mental stack and can, I guess like, as Holiday said, can unk check you for sure. Is it? No, it's not, because the second part of the 5 heavy is a projectile. And Unica doesn't really move into the danger zone unless you dash cancel. Throw. Turn up available. Goes for the cross up Ensenga, which is kind of a new thing in this patch for Johnny. Again? Yep, it's too far. Good game sense there, playing the baits. Has been able to kind of determine that Holiday wants to try to reverse a lot of those situations, so just play myself in a range where none of it matters. Nice spacing there, the walk deal completely misses, and the far slash punishes afterward. A little bit too far. I think he didn't get the Kara cancel there. The Kara overhead, so it lacked a little bit of reach. It's out of Unica's Kara cancels, the overhead is the only hard to input one that requires a little bit of execution. All the rest of them are just completely free because they're just simple forward inputs, so they mesh really well with the dash macro. Okay, still minus quite a bit. For the Mist Finders, is that gonna be Mega Dead Buster? That's an empowered one as well. Big damage, but not quite enough yet. One laser beam could be it. The jump backwards, try to invite the opponent. Double jump forwards, come down with the leggy. Is all that it takes.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, exactly that. Jump backwards, jump forwards. Try to bait early anti-air maneuvers. And then use your strong jump-ins to go in. Which would I guess, oh my god, that actually reached there. Unica has a very deceptive reach for her mid-range poking. Get a little bit extra compared to Kai, maybe. Kind of like Sin. But on the other hand, also a little bit more width punishable than Kai. Boom shakalaka with the 6 heavy DP loops. Lots of damage still in those. So if Unica does get you in the corner, you are in the primary danger zone, and especially if she gets to start a combo on you with the S buttons. Oh my goodness, with the Michael Sword. Big counter hit. Just knocking the opponent back a ton. Empty land into pressure. Oh, drifts into a very delayed FRC 5 heavy and finds fish with it. Boxing in the corner. Yep, this is fundamentals. I love this. Like if you're looking at this and you don't understand what Detada is doing, it's like it's some of the most fine, some of the most enjoyable stuff to watch in fighting games. It's very subtle, it doesn't look fancy, and it's really easy to miss, but oh my goodness. The creation of the virtual box, the patience to not go in, the patience to check if the opponent wants to try to escape and hang themselves. Oh, what was that? Starting with a 5D there. What was that, maybe misinput on a... I don't know, 2D is not very prominent for Unica either. Hit confirm attempt into counter blitz. Right through the wall we go. Air button whip to set up the throw on the ground. Very nice round for Holiday. Yeah, if this keeps up, we're going on a vacation for sure. Oh, again, it's the sequence. The neutral jump, and if I feel like if Holiday seems Detada jump backwards on round start, then the air dash comes out, and then we follow it up with the air throw as well. -4. Ooh, Detada tried to be naughty and challenge there. Of course, if you do space yourself at a really nice distance after the sledge. But on the other hand, it is Johnny that we're playing against. Oh, huh? What the heck is fucking-ing? Is that the new thing where the corner is actually a little bit further than intended? Or like, huh? Huh? With the successful far slash. I think I've seen that sequence from May, like in May clips, where they're like sticking the opponent to the wall in a really strange looking way because of some of the newest wall changes, especially like where the hitbox of the wall is or something. Right, crowning Unica. Oh my goodness, mashing with that close slash, and it pays off big time. Switching sides as well with the DP, sending them flying. Trying to reach with the kata overhead, not quite there. Oh, that's a big counter hit that sends the opponent reeling. That should be a kill. Megadeth, Buster doesn't even need it.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Can you actually prevent the 6 heavy from producing the hitbox? Isn't that a problem? Like if you're not in Arbalest already and you would like to do like for example enhanced Megadeth Buster, can you actually prevent the 6 heavy from producing the hit? Like if that would break the wall? Unsure. Interested about the unique like routing though. Oh my god, missed it, missed the DP, and here comes the reversal. We're out of there, Jim. Has been able to push Detada all the way to the corner. Oh, with a tiny little delayed downfiner, producing the wall stick. Was already pressing a button. Yeah, this is a very common kind of RPS situation. If you're mashing a really fast button early, even before the opponent drifts forward, then it stands to reason that your button might be active there as they're coming out of their drift, and then they just can't really do much about it unless they DP you on reaction. Trying for the up-finer, nobody home. So Detada breaks out of the corner, -3, very late FRC into more pressure. It's a lot of meter spent though, so neither player, or rather, at least Detada ain't gonna have any relevant meter anytime soon. Just to punish, or maybe just to be safe there. If you, yeah, it's kind of difficult for Unica to air dash in there because she's a little clumsier in terms of her air mobility. This should take the cake though. So Holiday is getting really dangerously close to Detada's score here. This could still be quite the nail biter, and in fact, it is shaping out to be one of those. Both players jumping, but it's the same sequence again. See you airborne, air dash, air throw, and it's been working out like a charm. Yeah, going under there. DP punish, and the super to finish it up as well. Jack. With the safe jump. Although Unica has a 9-framer, correct? So that safe jump would not be real. Maybe? Maybe, baby. I'm not sure. Did they improve Johnny's capability to safe jump? Maybe. Or maybe I'm mistaken and Unica's DP is not an 9-framer. I actually forgot. Ooh, got the punish there. Fuck, I'm minus 15. I'm so punishable. I'm so vulnerable. Fuck. It actually was that time. Ooh, nice rounding. Recognized that the bar slash sequence was close enough to the corner, so he went for the Kara DP to get a better route. Went for a throw there, I think. Jones into a turn up. Ooh, got them on the landing, and with the FRC able to convert into a nice little combo before there was even a consideration of a burst. I think Holiday wouldn't have bursted there though. That was basically a lost round at that point. Misses with the too heavy, that's unfortunate. Turning up the momentum, get out of there with the DP, sending a couple of plasma shots. Nice, well-placed 6P as well. Straight back where they started, into the corner. The delayed down finer, and then triggered the turn up as well. It's gonna be relatively safe there. Ain't gonna be able to reach Joker trick there from that distance, at least on Unica. Where did the jump heavy hit? Does that have an upwards hitting hitbox as well? Alright, so Sledge still finds its way there. Holiday moving around, trying to bait stuff out. But Detada is very patient, waiting all the way till the end before the instant air dash comes. Anti-air 6P, but then Holiday still back in the game, trying to shimmy, no reaction. I think that's a reasonable reasonable play that Holiday is making here, because I've seen Detada fuzzy throwing a lot. Well, not a lot, but like, there has been more than one instance where I've definitely confirmed that Detada is fuzzy throwing. Yet, exactly when the opponent is shimmying you, of course you're not playing it that time. And again, that's gotta be the VIP, the MVP tool of round start for Holiday this set. Scoops him out of the air once again. Safe block against the red beam. Then into the deal, triggers the turn up. And lots of plus frames here. No reversal super either, so you can just commit to that dash pretty freely. -4. Ooh, misses with the 2K there. That could have been a safe whatchamacallit, the spacing trap. Anybody's game still drifts into a 2K. No anti-air this time. Deals into, very patient here again, tries to shimmy. No response whatsoever. Nobody home, nobody to take the bait. My goodness, if Detada is not the most patient Unica player that I've ever seen. This time, no choice but to take the turn up into another mix-up situation. Well broken, but at least we're out. But Holiday turning on the heat. Soon to be 50 more meter. There it is. TK Finer blocked successfully, but it's still not over. Joker trick. That's a very nice RPS win for Detada, because now there is no option for an immediate vault deal. PRC at least. Ducks under the DP, 2S, gets a punish counter hit. And that's a wrap. Situation still absolutely even. The only advantage that Holiday has here is a little bit of extra burst, which we're gonna use for that easier to execute gold burst now in this 2.0 version. God, again, and throw into an FRC route. There, maybe, I'm not sure if that was a reset attempt or if there was a glitch in the system. Rushing under, okay, even if you got punished there, at least you won in the real estate front. Misses the input, oh my goodness, and DPs into the right direction. Was certainly a miss on the TK Fighter. And not quite enough. Once again, the big sword swing should be it. Yes, Holiday got the burst still in there. That was basically the last chance to get the play. If Holiday doesn't burst immediately, that Michael sword variant was gonna mop the floor. And Detada in the lead once again. As we're reaching the pinnacle, the apex, the climax of the set potentially. Got them with the low. That's something that we haven't seen too much yet from the dash cancel RPS. Maybe the only way to keep the opponent steady is to hit a very early 2S. Alright, getting a little bit closer. Wins the third round on the guessing game on the fireballs there. But Detada pushing Holiday towards the corner, pushing, getting an OTG kill with the 5 heavy. Set point. Is that gonna be it? Started with a 6 speed. That works out if the opponent's option is far slash. 3 jump. Like, is that's gonna be a neutral jump shimmy. Like, Holiday is trying all of the shimmies in the world, but Detada just not whiffing that throw at all. With the turn up here. Pushing towards the corner, that's gonna be minus. Detada bounces out of there with the slide. Learned from his daddy. And look at the spacing! Perfect position to counter the incoming Volt deal PRC. If you're on the ground, it's like almost impossible to deal with unless you react with a DP. But if you're on an instant air backdash trajectory, is that a kill? Is that over? That is the highest damage hit, I believe. The empowered gun, and then the air fireballs. Detada with the patience of a saint, never to be exposed for those throws. Absolutely crazy fundamentals. Not playing when it's not necessary to play, playing when there is games to be had. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just overall, a great week of fundamental play. I mean, the Kisk family, honestly, no matter what you think about it, the Kisk family is kind of like the fundamentals bloodline of this franchise. Are they not? It's been a lot of really, like, fundamental wins tonight on the roster. And a really, really great set to end it upon. Now, as for the next week, we are gonna I think we're gonna skip at least 1 week, so there won't be Bounty Hunters next Sunday because there was a possibility that I might have to help hosting a different event. We'll see, but we might return in 2 weeks instead. We'll see. Stay tuned if you wanna check what's what and see when the Bounty Hunters signups go online. You can join my Discord. You can find the community there and all that kind of jazz. It's been a pleasure again. Another great week of matches. And we'll see you when I see you eventually. If we don't turn blind, that is, of course. But yeah, we'll see you in the next episode of Bounty Hunters. It's been fun. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.